You're about to watch another exciting episode of the Dungeon Run, but did you know that you can actually be part of the adventure? Tune in live on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and you can make your voice heard and help determine the fate of our adventurers. Hope to see you there.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Dungeon Run. My name is Rachel. I am going to be your DM for this campaign. Thank you for the very
There's lots of celebration happening behind the scenes.
I know. It made me feel good, okay? So this is the premiere of the campaign I'm going to be running called The Broken Ring. I'm going to be guiding you on this adventure with this amazing group of people, and I'm so excited because I think this is the first time I've DM'd for every single one of you.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through, please tell me your name, your pronouns, your character's name, and your character's pronouns. Jared.
I will go first. Hi, I'm Jared Kjack. I'm playing Bosog the Boots. Barboza. It's a mouthful. You can just call me Boots. Anyways, my pronouns are he, him, and my character's pronouns are he, him.
Can I call you BB?
Sure.
Amazing.
BB.
Yes.
Hello, how's it going? Okay, this is right here, or should I be looking at I'm Nwadiwe, and I'm going to be playing Allyrick Oleander. Both of our pronouns are he, him, and we're ready for some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christoff.
Hi, I'm Christoff Visscher. I will be playing Sir Camden of the Green Path, and both of our pronouns are he, him.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Josephine McAdam, and my pronouns are she or any, and I'm playing Narel, and their pronouns are they, them.
Excellent. All right. So you may notice that we had advertised we have 5 players. Tonight, unfortunately, I'm the 5th player. Jess, our lovely Jess, cannot make it tonight, but she's in our thoughts. We love her so much, and you will be seeing her next time. So keep an eye out. We'll have another friend joining us soon. In the meantime, I'm actually going to throw it over to Jared for some sponsorship.
Business. This just in. This show would not be possible without our sponsors, and those sponsors include Die Hard Dice and World Anvil. Check out our intermission. There's going to be a video that Ron has put together that'll show all of their amazing products and how you can get discounts from them on us. Also, our beloved Patreon members. Our show is made possible by Patreon. If you haven't checked out our Patreon, there's tons of cool content on there. Go to patreon.com/thedungeonrun. For just $5 a month, you can get access to cool behind-the-scenes content and our after-show short rest exclusively only to the patrons. You can also get the VOD of our recent game of For the Queen with an amazing and hilarious table of players. I saw that. It was very funny. And lots of wigs for some reason. And at higher levels, you get access to stat blocks from the DM, free interactivity, cast secrets. Not even that the other players don't even know those cast secrets. There are several that I still have chosen not to go and look at because it's more fun that way. And monthly games DM'd by Morgan. Morgan, you're still doing that?
Yep.
That's great.
Been doing it for a year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Join that game. And we have a new patron shout out. Welcome. This week, our new patron is Whitney. Whitney, thank you so much for supporting the show.
Thanks, man.
Thank you,
Hey,
Whitney.
how's it going?
Whitney.
Thank you, Whitney.
And now,
What do you do?
back
How
to
you
Rachel.
doing?
Thank you, Jared. And now, with the weather, it's me.
What is this?
Surprise, we're all doing journalists. Did you not know? This whole campaign is just going to be journalists.
Ooh, I'm ready for that.
We got this.
Yes.
So, work on your best journalist voice.
Yes, easy.
So as you may know, hang on. As you may know, if you have already watched, or if you are new here, welcome. This is an interactive show. I'm going to read to you really fast some of the ways that you can interact with us directly. We have this custom Twitch extension, or you can use the link that shows up in our About section on our Twitch page. Or if you just enter the chat and you use the code !donate, all one word, you can get the link that way. So there are 2 ways that you can help or challenge our players here. You can choose to give advantage or disadvantage to any player or to me. You can,
Okay.
if you want, just little old me. And I see we have a lot going on already. Thank you guys so much for that. We're going to get to that in just a minute. We also have the great Cosmic Tug. Now, in the other campaign, you may know this already as the tug between the forces of light and the forces of shadow. Here, this is the force of nature and the force of the cosmos. Nature being light, cosmos being dark.
Go nature.
Go nature,
Yeah.
truly. So, the light may shine brightly to guide our heroes, while shadows may confuse or obscure their path, but you never know. Too much light can burn after all, and sometimes useful things can be found in the shadows. So you'll just have to get there and find out. You can donate to either side through purchasing glimpses or bursts. A glimpse of light or nature, or shadow / cosmos, can help a little, while a burst will definitely move the needle for either side. When enough light or shadow, in this case nature and cosmos, has been accrued, a force card will be unlocked, and I will read those and I will tell you what they do for our players, or for the world at large.
They're wild, guys.
These
Wild.
cards are guaranteed to change things, and I know what they do, and they're really exciting, so I hope we get to at least one of them. But for now, that's enough for our intro. And I'd like to welcome you sincerely to the tricky and beautiful domain of the Feywild. Hit it, Sean!
What's here today is gone tomorrow. What's here today is gone tomorrow.
Hello, welcome back. The Feywild is a beautiful but a tricky place. And further north, in this massive continent full of domains and magic, rests the Seeley Court. Within the Seeley Court is the massive city of Caer Ananrach. Caer Ananrach is where the Seeley Court abides, where all of their courts within the Seeley Court abide. The Seeley Court itself is made up of 4 courts, and they are the seasons: spring, summer, winter, and fall. Each has its own representative and its own race that belongs to it. Caer Ananrach is made out of nature itself. The trees that grow here grow into the shape of buildings through the influence of the elves and sheer acceptance of the people that live there. It is made of birches, of orange grove wood, dark cherry wood, and very aromatic cedar. The sunshine is bright and vibrant here. All of the plant life is alive. And there are waves crashing through the air of emotion. So, Jared.
Yes.
Bosog. You're currently standing very early in the morning in a courtyard that you've been to many, many, many times. And you're standing next to a figure that you know fairly well. This is a man named Lorquette. Lorquette is one step away from the queen herself, Queen Mab, the ruler of the Seeley Court. And you have the great fortune of being one of only a few that have dealt with Mab in person herself, and not through some kind of mediator. However, Lorquette is a mediator that you know very well. Lorquette is a tall elf with very angular, sharp features, broad shoulders, very long limbs, very narrow hips, a shock of dyed red hair, and very unique eyes. One is a blaze of blue, electric, and the other is like a little circle of labradorite. It has a sheen in it. He stands next to you without looking at you, looking out in this courtyard. And this courtyard is right outside of Mab's throne room itself. And you know, it's the courtyard of tiles, because this courtyard is covered in tiles. And in between each tile, this beautiful moss grows and carpets the ground. Can you describe what Bosog looks like?
Sure, I'd love to. Bosog is short. Mm-hmm. He's only 3 feet tall. He's a wiry little old man with long, prominent teeth that kind of stick out. Even longer arms, especially for the size of his body. I mean, he's a knuckle dragger, is a good way to put it. Mm. Skinny, dirty fingers. The fingers come to a point almost like a talon. Large gold eyes with little flakes of like a fiery crimson in them. Grizzly bone white hair that comes out from his red cap, and a big bushy bone white beard that hangs down underneath that. His most prominent clothing item, other than the red cap, obviously, is that he's got these massive, heavy black iron boots with little knobs on them that look almost ridiculously heavy, especially for someone that's so small. And he, if weapons are allowed in this courtyard, he's got an old rusty halberd that he's holding in his left hand that he's kind of leaning on, and a little stogie in his right hand that he's kind of got pocketed because he doesn't know if he's allowed to chew on it or smoke in the courtyard. Mm-hmm. So he's been here, 100 times before, and he likes coming here because it makes him feel important, but he's definitely intimidated. He's used to being out in the woods, in the muck and the mire and the blood. So yeah, he's looking up at Lorquette right now, admiring and hating how attractive he is.
He's to be very frank, he looks like David Bowie. It's exactly who I was picturing when I met him. So
Perfect.
This is the person that you know perhaps the most, perhaps the best in Mab's secondary circle. And Lorquette is standing there very prim and proper, and you know very well the rules of the Seeley Court, but they are still so confusing because the Seeley Court is so focused on the rule of politeness. Everyone respects the rule, and if you don't, you're shunned for a time or even banished. So being polite to people's faces, social etiquette, hugely important. And if you say the wrong thing, you are in a world of trouble. So Lorquette stands there very prim and proper, hands folded behind his back, and without looking at you, he says, I've often wondered, do those boots hurt?
What, these? No, they're very, very comfortable.
Really?
Yeah, I pat them.
You have insoles.
In what?
Insoles. Things you put in your shoes to
Yeah, like mud, old leaves, some wool, padding, so they don't hurt none.
Yes. Were they gifted to you? Or you always had them?
Yeah, you could say they were gifted to me.
I understand.
So what are we doing here? Like, I don't know.
Be patient.
Sure.
We are waiting.
Yeah, that's not one of my strong suits. That's all I'm saying.
No, I understand.
Sure.
Believe me, I know. As you're sitting there, just standing next to this tall, ethereal-looking figure, there's a fountain in the center of this courtyard, and it begins to laugh. Just a little chuckle. Quiet, and you feel the emotion sort of press against the back of your head, like a very gentle hand of a mother, just a very gentle caress. And you feel that breath of a laugh inside yourself, but you can choose to let it go if you wish.
I mean, I giggle. I'm not immune to giggling.
Lorquette finally looks down at you, just a brief glance. And he looks back up.
Sorry.
Don't apologize. Iffy. This courtyard is a place that you know. So when you were told by Lorquette, who you are also very familiar with, when you were told by Lorquette to meet here at a specific time, you know exactly where you're going. You know how to separate your time to be very efficient. Can you give me a quick description of what you look like?
Yes, so I'm a tiny fairy of a man, has black, long locks that are tied behind his head. He stands in kind of just like journeyman leathers to let you know he's ready for action at any time. He's very muscular, but very short in stature as a fairy, and his legs are that of insects. So he has carapace legs, fleshy top body. His features are very angular. Some would describe him as a pretty man. And he has that nice, deep mahogany toned skin. He oftentimes kind of sits without emotion, and not in a way that screams stoicism, but just a lightness of calm emptiness that is always ready to start a conversation or is just ready to serve, a look of service. He has a dagger on one side, shorts on the other. They're smaller than your usual dagger and short swords, but they're sharp enough to let you know that they're ready for action. And he has a one-armed cape over one side, which has looks on it. But when you rub your hand over it with the iridescence, you will see the crest of the court to let people know that he is of the court when he needs to get into places that are only for privileged individuals. But he kind of stands and wait politely.
So this crest of the court that you have is this beautiful iridescent, almost like a beetle's wing, that has this symbol of the court on it. It's a moon and a tree, and it looks like there's a massive tree in the courtyard that's next to the fountain, and that's what it looks like. However, you also have a second badge that you can choose to wear or not, and you can choose to wear it publicly or not. You are part of what's called the Queen's Clutch, and that is the Assassin's Guild, essentially, that the Queen employs. And that is something outside of the Red Cap mob. The Red Cap mob that she has, they're a little bit more forceful, and if you need to be subtle in your murder, they're not necessarily the most subtle, which can be a good thing. It's hard to send a very specific message with subtlety. Yeah. But when they do need subtlety, they come to you. And the badge for the Queen's Clutch is a simple pewter badge of a small flower. Okay. You can choose to wear it underneath layers and hide it, or you can choose to wear it out in the open.
I believe he'll keep it layered, hidden, just for the whole secrecy thing.
Yeah. You take it off your little bedside table and you pin it and then hide it. And you head to this courtyard that you know very well. And you pass people in the streets that you know. You may give them a curt nod, or you may just go about your business very quickly. You do have your own home, like a lot of the people here do. It's very simple, but it's exactly what you need, and you can furnish it however you need to. When you get to the court, you see in this courtyard, the tiny flower that you have is something not a lot of people would recognize because it only grows here, in this specific courtyard. But it is a status of being close to the Queen. because only those who spend enough time in this courtyard would be able to see. In the moss that grows between these tiles, there are tiny white flowers. So it's also an image of how close you are to the inner court. And you see standing there someone you may recognize, a red cap, an older gentleman, and Lorquette, who you have met before, and who often sends you on your missions and gives you your missives from the Queen herself.
Well, if it isn't...
Al! Hey! There's a familiar face!
Yes,
how you doing?
Oh, well, I'm good. You know, woke up, took my walk, and now I'm here with you and Lorak.
Hey, are you here for, like, work?
I would assume so,
Yes?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
You think we're gonna be teamed up again?
Ooh, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. You remember that last job we did?
I remember all my jobs.
They never saw that coming.
They usually don't. That's kind of my whole thing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they hear me coming, but then they don't see you.
Well, you know-
It's like a 1-2 punch, you know?
As someone would call it, a misdirect.
Yeah,
So they're
yeah.
ready for you, and then before you know it, I'm behind them.
That's right. Hey, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, so... Oh, sorry.
Sorry. It's good to see you as well. How are you doing? How are things?
Things are proceeding. Lorquette nods to you, looks back at you and says, I told you we were waiting. We are not whole yet. Keep your, what's the colloquialism? Keep your socks on.
You've been hanging out with people more.
Yes, I've been trying to get out of the court and be more sociable.
It's doing wonders. I feel warm, friendly chaps.
Thank you. And he just stands there, waiting.
You got any good hooch on you? Or?
No, I'm not.
Do you drink? I don't remember.
From time to time, but
Yeah.
I like to be ready for action at a moment's notice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too drunk in front of Mab.
Yes, that too.
She hates that.
Plus, I just carry so many vials that who knows that,
You might drink the wrong one?
Yes, exactly.
That would be hilarious.
Yes, you would be surprised how many assassins that happens to.
While we are not seeing Mab today, I would beseech you to keep your sobriety.
All right.
You will be part envoy today.
See? Gotta be ready for anything at any time.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Just before you know, you're saying you're envoy. Now we're envoy.
Right. That sounds important.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Today I was
Maybe
like,
we should get like some kind of, ribbon or something so like people know that we're important.
I'm kind of like the type that likes to, stay in the background and let things happen and do what I need to do when I.
Right.
Camden,
Yes.
there are several temples to the trio around Charon and Rock. And the one that you keep room and board at is the one you grew up in. It's a beautiful stone structure, very Grecian. Columns out the front, a couple of sweeping steps into the temple itself. It's very simple. The trio don't need a lot in terms of tithe or opulence. They don't ask for it. They ask for nature. So the temple itself is also surrounded by a massive garden that is tended by most of the clerics or druids or paladins that associate themselves with the trio. You are currently getting ready because you know you need to be at a specific location at a specific time. And you know this place. It's usually where you stand guard. Today you're not. Today was not supposed to be your shift. And you've been asked to be there. And there's an elf that you know, a very interesting, unearthly creature named Lorquette, who has asked you specifically, under the name of Queen Mab, to be there. at a specific time. And if you leave now, you'll still be a couple minutes early. Can you describe Cam for me?
Sure. Sir Camden is a half-elf with tan olive skin, brownish black hair that the elven part of him makes it very smooth and silky, but he also tends to kind of create a couple of dreads, and that all gets kind of tucked underneath his helmet, which he usually wears. He's got full plate armor, I'm assuming palace grade, Queen's Watch kind of grade armor, with green banners that kind of form opulence around his chest and kind of hanging from his waist. He has a sword and shield, very direct, very to the point, but does have a sort of boyish charm when he's off duty, which he's not today. Bummer, but he does his duties willingly. So he'll place his helmet on and begin to head out the door.
Okay. As you head out, you see there are several people coming to pay their respects in the temple. And the temple itself is wildly overrun. There's just tiny little green sprouts coming out between the stones on the floor. And that's, how the trio likes it. And you hear the tiny pitter-patter of feet. And this younger halfling girl, just about to break the barrier of teenager, runs up to you and immediately puts her arms around your leg. And she just holds it there.
I pat her on the back. Sweet child, what seems to be the problem?
This is a child that you've seen a couple of times. There's actually, it's sort of an orphanage, sort of a boarding school in the temple. And she's one of the children of this clutch, this brood. And you've interacted with her a couple of times before, and whether or not it's on purpose, she has taken a liking to you, specifically. And she looks up at you, and her big gold eyes are watery. And they're very emotional as she looks up at you, and you can feel coming off of her this wave of childlike, simple sadness. Not the sadness of an adult that's mired by the complications adult responsibility brings, but just a very simple sadness. Her name is Lucy, and she says, Brandon told me my hair was stupid. And she's got it in these really uneven pigtails, and you think maybe she did it herself, and one's up here, one's kind of down that way.
I think it's just as wild as the trio would like it, just as the thorns and vines grow, as they want.
Thank you. I made something for you.
Did you now?
I did. We had a craft class.
And she starts digging into the pockets of her dress, and it's like a simple tunic, but there's pockets everywhere in this dress, and they're all hand sewn on. A lot of them are just kind of patches of fabric that she has very clumsily sewn into place, and you can sort of track how her sewing abilities have grown the older that she's gotten, because she's gotten a little bit more risky with the shapes, and this one has a flap and this one has a button. And out of one, she pulls this brooch that's carved wood. And it's very childlike.
It's not good, is it?
It's not great.
Okay.
You can vaguely tell it's a butterfly, and it's been painted white, and there's a little splotch of a blue on it. And she holds it up to you.
Oh, Lucy, is this for me?
Yes!
It's lovely. I will place it on the backside of my shield so I'll never lose it. How about that?
Okay.
Now, I want you to go count all the flowers along the floor
Oh, that's so many.
and report to the cleric over there how many you find. But
Okay.
make sure you've got all of them. Otherwise, they won't know.
Okay,
And she starts to walk very purposefully back into the pews, and she shouts at the woman that you had pointed at. She says, Sister Anise, I'm going to count them all! And you are now free to leave.
I'll wave to
Unhindered.
Sister Anise and be like,
She's like,
I will tuck the butterfly behind my shield wrap brace, I guess, and begin to head to the court.
okay. And like I said, this is the place usually where you post up guard. So
Yeah.
you know this place pretty well.
Who's working today's shift?
As you get there, in fact, you see no one. there are no guards here today. You see a couple of your compatriots further down in the building that you're going into, but no one's at the door where you usually stand.
I'll remove my helmet and hold it at my side, one hand on my sword, and continue to walk to the courtyard.
Okay. Once you arrive, you see two people having a very jovial conversation, and Lorquette standing very still and being very proper.
Do I know these gentlemen?
That's up to you. I'd say you would definitely have seen them before, as you know vaguely their place in court as well.
Yeah, I think Camden accepts but doesn't approve. It's not my job to judge, but y'all killed. Plainly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll take a deep breath in, calm my emotions, approach Lorquette and hold out my hand to shake his. Good to see you, Sir Lorquette.
He gives you one of his very graceful, long-fingered hands.
I bend and kiss it.
Oh, very proper. Thank you. It's lovely to see you again, Captain.
I don't have the pleasure of introducing myself formally. I'm Sir Camden of the Green Path.
Oh, I know who you are.
Sir Camden of the Green Path. Are you off or on duty?
The Queen has summoned me for a very important meeting.
But you're without helmet.
It can go on should things require it.
What kind of things require it?
Yes. What type of thing?
Whatever the Queen desires.
Okay.
Whatever she desires?
If you are done ribbing each other,
I consider putting the helmet on.
I wouldn't rib each other. That's impolite. I was just saying that, he looks better with his helmet on. As the Queen desires.
bold of you to assume you know what the Queen desires. If you're ready, please, follow me. And he starts to walk off.
I put the helmet on and I follow.
So, if you do choose to follow, which I
Yeah.
Lord
I'm not going to derail your game yet.
Turn around.
Listen, you can.
Give
It's
it-
just,
give
it
us
might
2
be a
episodes, then
boring
we'll
day.
derail.
Yeah.
Listen, if you don't take the hook, we're just gonna have a good day of you going around to all the bakeries.
Awesome. Love
Having a
it.
little shopping day. So you follow Lorquette into what amounts to his office. It's a very dark room. There's a fireplace in the corner. The smell of cinnamon and cedar is very heavy here. And he sits down in a chair and offers an opulent-looking green velvet couch to you, as well as a brown armchair.
What should we do with these? I'm holding my rusty halberd. You want to buy the door or on the floor, or you got like a closet or something?
You can put it wherever you like. I mean, within reason.
I'll just set it up against the wall then.
Okay. He sits down in his own chair and he steeples his fingers. Mab has asked for all of you specifically. This should be a very short jaunt, not the longer trips that you are perhaps used to, and I believe this is your first time you've been called to court for this reason.
Sir Lorquette, if you excuse me, I'm wondering why I have been called into duty today.
Yes. It's not necessarily that we are calling you in to stand guard, as usual. Mab has asked for you specifically, all of you specifically, by name, for a reason.
I have to say, that's the only thing that seems to be escaping me right now. Specifically because, we usually don't need help.
That's true. We usually are pretty good, just the 2 of us.
He looks good. He's formidable at standing and
Quite honestly,
staring.
I don't know if I want to help in whatever they're required for.
That's true.
Yes.
Maybe he's the babysitter.
Yeah.
Now just remember, this is Mab that is putting this group together.
Yes, sir.
And as you are members of the Seeley Court, I hope that you would have enough respect to know that your queen knows what she's doing, and she has her reasons.
Oh, hey.
Of course.
Hey.
My
Whatever
apologies.
she wants. And I mean whatever she wants.
Oh yeah.
Watch your
Of
tongue,
course.
Red Cap.
Stop. I didn't mean it that way.
I truly hope that you're going to be able to get along better than this.
Well, of course. And at this point, as I imagine that Allyrick is so tiny, he is up to the front of the desk. He leans in to his elbows. a little saucy. I'm sure you're very, very aware that I trust the Queen as I enact whatever she wants
Yes, I
to
know.
whoever she wants. We know this, right?
Yes.
Okay. There's been a lot of
Curious
questioning.
That you would
what I
be
know.
questioning her.
I'm not questioning her.
Anyways,
I'm questioning you.
perhaps we should get to the point of you being here. If that is amenable.
Sure.
What
Sure.
an awful
I
mood.
pull out a piece of parchment.
We were getting along way better before this guy came around. I'm just saying.
All right, well, on that lovely note. Do any of you know of the Barrel Enclave? Can you all make a history check for me?
Yeah.
I was just gonna take a guess.
And
They like drinking.
I will
they're cool.
say, Boots, you have advantage. Allyrick, you have advantage.
From who?
Boots, you have advantage from X the Black Kakari. I hope I said
Thanks,
that
X the
right.
Black. It's a new name.
Allyrick, you have advantage from City Racing Girl.
City
Thank you,
racing
City
girl.
Racing
City
Girl.
racing girl.
And Camden, you also have
Thank you.
advantage from City Racing Girl.
Thank you, City Racing Girl.
I rolled a 14, so I think I'll keep it. I mean, 14 with modifiers.
15.
Yeah, I got a 15 too.
The two of you have vaguely heard of the Barrel Enclave. You know it's Druids. It's a domain a little further south and to the east. It's by a big lake. You also vaguely know this with a 14. It's Druids.
Okay.
Why is it called the Barrel?
Beryl is a type of gem, and it's green.
Oh, barrel.
Oh.
B-E-R-Y-L.
B-E-R-Y-L.
Okay.
What?
Barrel.
Beryl.
Googling that later.
B-E-R-Y-L.
Someone hasn't been dating in LA long enough.
Oh, you're not wrong.
We'll have a whole other conversation about dating in LA later, because it's a whole thing in and of itself. All right, so that's what you know. It has to do with Druids. It's a
Druids.
Druid enclave.
That's the group of Druids by the lake, southeast of here.
Yes.
For 1 second,
Yes, Sir Allyrick.
if we can drop the court theatrics and be pretty direct.
Sure.
Your mood has been very different. So because of that, I ask, is there anything that we should know about this going into it?
Very well. If you want direct, I can give you as direct as possible, and I can tell you all that I know. It's going to, anyways. I promise. The Druids have usually been very cordial with the Seeley domain. We get along with most things north of the line. And you know the line is the name of a very massive river that almost bisects the land. And it's, yeah.
This way or this way?
It's this way.
Got it.
It's very arbitrary, but the world has sort of sorted itself out so that the Seeley domain and domains that are friendly with it are north of that line, and everything south is Unsealy or uncharted or neutral territory. There are some Seeley domains a little further south, but they get into kind of tricky territory.
Got it. Okay.
So, these Druids normally check in. We do deals. Many merchants go between here and there.
Yes.
However, recently we have not heard much from them, and Mab is under the impression they may be hiding something. There is someone new in charge. Someone that Mab has seen before as a child. Not necessarily a concern, but we don't know why they're in charge now. We just want to send a very carefully selected group to go check on them.
Final question.
Yeah, go ahead. I got lots of questions.
Does this-
You do you.
Yes. Because this right here, that is among us right now, at least 2/3, are a group of messengers.
Yes.
So are we sending a message, or are we talking to them?
We don't know yet. Now,
my
Mab
favorite.
has chosen you because of your respective groups. She trusts you in particular, each of you in particular, because you have shown some aptitude within your realms.
Butterflies inside right now.
And Allyrick is just staring at you like you're an alien.
She likes me. She really likes me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
I'm so confused. So we're supposed to go down there and talk to the Druids? We're just gonna go talk to them and make sure that they're on the up and up.
Potentially. Or you may have to do some fighting. We don't know.
Oh, I see.
We do not know
okay.
what you are heading into.
Got
and
it.
as you are three very capable people, we have decided to send you. Well, Mab has decided to send you. It's the royal we. I have no say in it.
Right. So is he the one that's supposed to do the talking and we're going to stand behind him, making sure that everything...
It's up to the three of you.
I see.
I have limited training as a diplomat. My job is to protect. I'd assume you lot would be better at talking your way out of crimes or things of that nature.
This guy, he's
Very judgy.
yes, but he's starting. There's some growth. There's growth.
So is there like an edict or a message or... Normally Mab, she like writes stuff down so that I don't forget on my way there what we're supposed to do or what we're supposed to say.
Here's a new colloquialism for you.
Yes.
I'm assuming, based on the information given, that we're supposed to wing it.
Yes, very good. I like that.
Yeah, yes.
You are to wing it.
I don't have wings.
I'll explain it to you.
It's a
Okay.
figure of speech.
Ah,
You take flying by the seat of your pants.
I don't know how to fly either. I don't know if
It's
you
not
know this.
taken literally. Anyways, to be perfectly frank with you, this seems to be potentially part of a bigger problem. This may not be the only thing you must do. This may only be the first step. Do I make my meaning clear?
Yeah, it's the tip of the iceberg. Right?
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
Yes, very good. All right, yes. And he takes out a little notepad from a drawer and he's tip of the iceberg. Yes. Anyways.
Lorquette,
Yes.
is this a foretelling of some greater danger to the kingdom? Is there something you're not telling us?
Make an insight check.
Ooh, 6.
Let me see if you have more advantage. I believe you actually do. Dressed in dark gives you advantage.
Thank you, Lord Dark. Now it's a 20. No, 19.
Lord Dark.
No, 20. Not natural.
Dirty 20. Lorquette looks concerned, which is strange because you have never seen Lorquette look concerned no matter what has been happening in court.
I continue my eye contact then.
There's an awful lot that we don't know, and that is a problem. Mab is a font of knowledge. She is usually able to see all or feel all in the northern part of the world. There are things happening that we cannot account for. There is some thing out there that we cannot account for. And we don't know if this is affecting the Druids, if it's caused by the Druids, God forbid. But something larger is happening. Again, and I stress this, you were all chosen for a reason, to be very specific, but also to be discreet.
Well, that's what I do best.
That is what you do best.
We will not fail the Queen. We will work as a united unit to get this job done.
We will not fail the Queen. All the extras are to be decided.
I will say, do not fail yourselves. This is a very important mission, to the point that nothing is written down, so that it cannot be tracked. Or, worst case scenario, if you were caught. Which we sincerely hope will not be the case.
It shall not come to that.
Is there a druid that we're supposed to be looking for?
Yes. The Druids themselves are governed by two people together, never by one. One of the newer leaders is Brona. Brona. We know she's a halfling. Mab had a fondness for her when she was a younger girl. And that is all we know. The other one is a grung. And his name is Ding.
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 And he is a...
Ding.
Grung.
Ah.
They're small frog-like people.
Oh yes, those froggy people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there isn't any more questions,
I have none.
I'm good to go.
We'll get right to it.
All right. Here's a map. And he hands you a map. You vaguely know the direction to go, and it's really hard to miss the Beryl Enclave. He also, as he's ushering you out the door, pauses in the doorway, and he fills up the whole doorway. He's a very tall creature. And he leans out and he says, by the time you return, I should have something for you. Okay.
Sounds good. All right, so let us...
Who's gonna hold the map?
I'll hold the map.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Sir Lorquette.
Thank you.
I'll pull the door behind me.
You got a horse or something?
Should I require one? Yes, I could find a steed. But I don't have that prepared. I thought I was not working today.
Oh, you got cold.
So you're like 5 days a week on, 2 days off? Is that your usual?
Whatever the Queen desires, yes, that's my usual.
So this is your day off?
Not anymore.
Well, that's nice.
Getting overtime then, yeah?
The pleasure of basking in the Seeley Court is payment enough.
Oh, that's just Wednesday for us. But yes. What was your name again?
Sir Camden of the Green Path, but you can call me Sir Camden if you wish to shorten it a bit.
Camden.
Might I remind you that that is a title appointed to me by the Queen herself. You should use it when addressing me.
Yes, just like I am Sir Allyrick Oleander, you know.
Yes, Sir Allyrick.
Don't.
And sequentially, you would be Sir Boots.
Kind of like the sound of that.
Yeah, Sir Boots is good. You did something good here today. Oh.
Look, I'll get right to the point. I might have come off a bit brash when I first walked in. You see, I had a whole plan for the day. I wanted to spend it by the river and whatnot. Besides the point, I will do everything in my power to make sure that we accomplish this mission together, despite our differences of opinions. I can trust that you'll do the same.
What?
Yeah, we appreciate what he's trying to do.
Okay.
And we understand that he has a certain way of working,
yes.
And we're going to do our best to work within the borders of that, what do you call it?
Discipline.
Discipline.
Yes, I guess, yes. We will work within the borders of your discipline.
Wonderful.
Until we can't.
As this conversation is happening, Camden, you notice a flash of color coming from behind your shield. And when you look behind your shield, you see this brooch, this butterfly, flashes this very soft but warm, iridescent light 3 times. We have 3 sparks from Tepartos.
Hey.
Glimmers of light.
Thank you. So you feel this warmth, all of you. And as the nature of the Feywild reflects the larger sense of this world, you feel this warmth as something more cosmic, something larger than you, larger than life in a way. A sort of balance, the sway of things. And you're overcome with a gentle happiness.
I drop my shoulders and relax a little bit, but just a little bit.
I forgot what I was going to call you, but I will say we will work within the realms of your discipline. But if you weren't picking up what was being said in there, there may come a moment where we have to work within the realm of ours. If you choose to be uncomfortable with it, simply stay out of our way, and we'll handle it.
I am more than capable of killing. It's just that I tend to feel bad after I do it.
Yeah, that could be rough.
Have no fear. I will hold my own on the road.
All right. Did you want to get your pony, or did you want to just go on foot?
It is an astral steed that I do not have the capability of summoning this day.
Okay, well...
If you still have the map with you?
Yes.
You're the one holding it? Could you make a survival check for me?
Yes, I can.
I also forgot to say that my helmet has two huge elk things on it, so I guess I ride on it.
Yes.
You also have advantage if you'd like to use it.
Okay.
Advantage from Dresden.
So that's
Interesting.
going to be 15.
15. Looking at the map, so you're talking about the steed, how far away is this exactly? It's about a day and a half. And it's, you know these areas very well. You've been sent kind of all over the place. Not so much further south, but you've been sent most places north of the line. And this is not a particularly dangerous place.
Okay. Look, looking at this map, we can just walk it, and you can have your kind of graze, and we can even stop by the river. But before we go, why do you think we kill?
I suppose it's for the money of it. Perhaps you get some sense of pleasure in knowing that you can take a life.
You're wrong. I kill because everyone has a place in this world. Everyone is a cog in the actions that move time and our lives itself forward. I don't kill for fun. I don't even kill for money. I kill because it's necessary, and I kill when it's necessary. So while you're judging with your huge helmet, maybe consider that.
Camden, would you make me a religion check pretty quick?
8.
Okay.
He got me. I'm off. He got me off my balance.
Okay.
Camden doesn't respond. He takes the sting and kind of nods.
And with that, Allyrick would nod and just start forward. No longer like shading you, just kind of leading the way now.
I'll gesture to Boots after you.
I'll be whistling, and there's this loud, this is probably the loudest it's been since we haven't been walking around too much, but his big iron boots are just clang, clang, clang. They make as much noise as your whole suit.
We're very noisy.
Yeah.
I love this. This is the noisiest party.
Yeah.
It's great.
Have you been to the Seeley Court recently? Clearly Camden's stressed.
Yes, I tend to be off and on as I'm needed, in and out. And that, now I will reveal the inner circle kind of pewter. Do you know what this means?
You are a member of the Queen's Clutch.
Yes. So,
By no means am I trying to insinuate that I do not think you are capable of being chosen by Mab. Mab's word is near to the trio, in my opinion. I just wonder why she would put such opposing forces onto the same side.
Well, I don't like to question Mab. I mean, whatever she wants is what she wants. But every once in a while, I'll be on a job, and I'll get down there, and there's going to be like 2 or 3 other guys that are on the same job. So sometimes she just sends people as insurance. So we could just be the insurance men, you know?
I see that besides your boots, you have 2 large blades at your waist. Are you a
I got all
swordsman?
kinds of blades. And I got this. Good old Rusty. He's like, and the thing is, he's like 3 feet tall, but it's a halberd. And it's 10 feet tall of just rusted iron metal.
It's fitting.
Yeah. Works good in a scrape.
If you want, I would say this weapon has been given to you by Mab. She has given these specific weapons to all of her red cap mob. If you want, and this is up to you, Jared, this halberd can change shape at your will. So if it's at your hip so that it's not just like dragging along behind you, it can be sized for you. And when you whip it out and you want it to be intimidating and large, it can go to its full shape.
Sure.
The dream.
Like a switchblade halberd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, I like that.
So you pull this halberd out
Ka-chunk.
in front of your eyes. It becomes massive 10-foot tall halberd, and it's very rusty.
Most impressive.
Yeah, it was a gift from Mab on my birthday when I was 88.
The Queen gave you a gift specifically.
Yeah. She doesn't give you gifts?
I think this is the first.
Well, my armor is, of course, Seeley Court issued, so in a way that is a gift in its own.
Right.
No,
No,
I received a gift this morning.
Look.
It's fine.
don't worry about the gifts that you don't
Do you have a gift from her?
Of course I do. And he whips out his dagger. He like flips it, catches it.
I
Would you like to
see. I'm sure she has one planned. I've only been here my whole life, and my time is still coming.
Hey, look, pay attention.
But I do need to wonder. I mean, I have done so many more things to protect her, and I haven't received a gift from Queen Mab.
Lorquette opens the door.
We were
And
just
he's
leaving.
got like
we were just leaving.
scrolls in his hand, and he looks at all of you and he says, "You still here?"
We were
getting
just
to know each other.
Yes. But now we are ready. We're old chums now, and yes, we were
Best of friends.
Best of friends, and we are on our way.
We are moving. Yes, we are walking.
Yes.
All right. Well,
With that, we'll head out.
don't die. I
Good
guess.
day.
Good day. And he shuts the door behind him, and he goes up the steps into the palace itself, and he keeps looking over his shoulder at all of you, like,
Okay, watch.
We should go.
Yes, we should.
Since I spend more time out in the woods, are we going through the woods to get to the Druids?
yeah.
If so, are there any like shortcuts or anything that I would know as opposed to just traveling on the main road?
Make me either a survival or a nature check.
Cool.
I'll
I
let
could
that be your
do
choice.
either of those.
Let me see if you have advantage. Yes, you do. You have advantage from City Racing Girl.
Thank you, City Racing Girl.
City racing.
City Racing Girl.
I will go with survival since it's better. 21.
21. Yeah. You are very familiar with these nondescript woods that ring the outside of the Seeley domain. They have no title. They're just kind of the woods. Other wooded areas down further south have specific names, but this is just a really basic area. You know, you could cut like a half a day off of this journey and be there overnight if you wanted to push yourselves.
I say this. You know, if you guys don't mind, going off the road through the woods, I could get us there quicker.
Oh, well, of course, the quicker we can get this job done, the quicker I'm happy. So
Good.
I will say yes.
Great.
Yes.
You're okay with mushrooms, yeah?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We grow some just outside of the temple for Rhea that, I grew up in.
While you're
They have
saying
them-
this, I'm watching.
They have the most delightful white cats and blah, 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 blah. And yes, and I'll just keep catching up.
All right, as you're leaving the city, it takes you a solid 10 minutes to get out of this city. It is massive. And parts of it grow up into the trunks of much larger trees that surround it. Think Lothlorien in terms of arches and elegance and things that look like it could have just come right from nature. And in most cases, it does. It doesn't need any human or fey intervention to grow the way it does. It's all harmonious. It's all in agreement with itself and with the people that live there. And about 10 minutes out, you come to the edge. And the edge goes right into the forest, basically. And you go into the forest. As you're about 10 paces into the forest, this wave of emotion comes over all of you. And this is totally normal. This is what happens in the Feywild. Emotions wash through the air. This one is a little anxiety. Not totally unheard of, but a little uncommon.
Like
in
the
the Seeley
woods
Court.
themselves are anxious.
Make a nature check for me. Let's see. And I believe you do have another advantage from Dresden Dark.
Rolling in it. Thank you, Justin.
Not as good. 9.
You're not sure where it's coming from.
But it's not normal.
It's not totally unheard of, but it's not commonplace. More often than not, in the court, you feel revelry, you feel joy, you sometimes feel a little arrogance as well in the court, but not really anxiety.
How does that manifest in the forest? Like, is it the trees are stiff and there's not as much noise? Like the animals are quiet, or?
With your 9, as you're looking around, you do get the sense that something is off. It feels, the best way for you to put it, it's like the trees are holding their breath. It's that sort of upheld feeling on the precipice of something.
And is this us feeling it as well, or are we just witnessing it?
Both.
Okay. I very much not like where I am right now. Being here.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
The
Maybe we
trees
should have
feel
stayed on the
stiff.
road.
The wind is short. Camden grips his sword. He's not going to show fear, but he's nervous, and so he's just kind of fidgeting with it.
I mean, normally it's only like this when it's like, there's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
So, Boots, you directed us down this path, did you not?
Yeah, I mean, this is the way I've taken before. It's a lot quicker than going down the road.
And it wasn't like this before?
No. I mean, I was in town for a couple days before I went to the meeting. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I think we should keep walking. I don't like this at all.
I mean, I don't know if I would say we should go quicker, though. We'd probably just take our time in case something's,
I will deal with that when it happens, but
Okay.
I do not want to be here right now.
Okay.
Please.
Moving
Everything's fine.
Okay.
I will quicken my pace as well then. And while I'm walking, I'm not trying to say a prayer or something, but I'm trying to just, if the emotions are washing over me, I'm trying to find the source of this anxiety, this
Sure.
anxiousness.
Make me a nature check real fast.
If I can, natural one.
Ooh. Let's see. You unfortunately do not have any
It was meant to
advantages.
be.
You're unsure. This is, how often do you think Camden goes out of the city?
I don't think he's ever.
This is wildly new territory.
Which is weird because
Yeah.
I'm protector of the realm, but I've never left.
Well, the heart of the realm is right there, so why would you need to leave? You feel very, very nervous.
Yes.
Not only from the anxious nature in the air, but something else. However, as you are traveling along, Boots, you are taking them on this path that you know very well. It's pretty worn down into the ground itself, so it's very easy to follow. This is mostly a merchant path that goes between the Enclave and the city. And there's something ahead that you've never seen before, but looking at it and knowing the nature of the Fey realm, you're not alarmed. This is something called the Babbling Brook. It is an actual brook that just appears. You never know when and where it's going to show up. Sometimes it happens in the middle of someone's home. It's happened like once or twice in someone's poor house in the middle of the city. But it just appears. And when it appears, the butterfly on the back of your shield, that little brooch, sets out a series of gentle iridescent flashes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seeds of light from City Racing Girl. And we are now at level 1, the Force of Light. So,
Go light!
Yeah.
let me
Go nature!
roll really fast. Okay. Boots! As you see this river, this little tiny babbling brook, and it's called the Babbling Brook because it is literally babbling. It is saying nonsensical gibberish in many tiny little quiet whispered voices. You see, popping out of the river, a tiny little will-o-wisp. Only you see it right now. You can choose what you'd like to do. It darts off into a shaded part of the trees. Looks like a little glen, maybe, that direction, that you've never seen before. You can follow it alone. You can not follow it. You can tell your companions. What would you like to do?
So, I mean, Boots has lived his whole life, for the most part, in the woods. Has he seen a will-o-wisp before, or is this the first time?
You have seen them, but you know that they are not things that are essentially naturally occurring. This is caused by magic. And it's not necessarily a harbinger. It's not necessarily an ill omen. But there's some kind of magic somewhere that is causing this moat to appear.
Huh. But I don't know what that is. I don't know what could be causing that.
Yeah. You know,
Okay.
it's like a 50-50. Sometimes it leads people to a place they need to be. Sometimes it gives them
Get some lost
something.
or something.
Sometimes it gets them lost, yeah.
Okay. Psst, hey, Al. I see a wisp. I'm gonna go check it out.
See a wisp.
Yeah.
My goodness, is this the Babbling Brook? I've heard of my friend. It appeared right in the middle of his house, and it supposedly made everything wet. It talked for hours. I cannot believe the luck that I stumbled. And he just kind of go down to my knees and put my hand in the brook. Oh, it's cool spring water. Oh,
Clang,
this is
clang, clang,
absolutely
clang,
wonderful.
clang.
Okay. He's not being discreet about it. He walks off. You head over to what looks like a little tree. Short and squat. Very full, very bursting with leaves. And the wisp darts into an area where you see the leaves have parted and the branches have grown in a way that it almost looks like a little door. It's a little dark inside.
A door that's like my size?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's an actual door.
I should say it's a doorway.
Okay.
Like an arch, not an actual door.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna reach out and knock on it. Okay. I'll crouch down right in front of the doorway and just sort of peer around inside of the opening.
Okay. Do you have dark vision?
I do.
Okay. When you look inside, yes, I know I built that character, jeez. When you look inside, you see 5 little tiny will-o-wisps dancing in the center. And you get this feeling, in the midst of all this anxiety, of playfulness.
And what do I see if I?
You see him go over to this like short, squat tree.
50 feet, 100 feet. How far are they?
I mean, it's like 30.
Cool.
Yeah.
Does it seem? Am I also seeing this doorway, or does it seem?
You'd
like
have to be over where he is to see the doorway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Right here where you see it's just like leaves.
Then I guess I'll walk closer. Like, boots. Shh. Why
There's,
are you shushing me?
I don't know, because usually I'm the loud one.
Okay.
There's like 5 or 6 little wisps dancing around in here.
So I'll lean in.
When you look inside, you see the same thing. It's just 5 little wisps. They're doing a little dance, and you feel this childlike joy wash over you.
So, part of my subclass, and I never thought I was going to use this, and I'm using it in the first episode.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. I have magic awareness. As an action, I can open myself to the presence of magic, and until the end of that turn, I know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover, but I can also sense like what kind of school of magic it belongs to.
Okay.
It's essentially like a detect magic.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of open myself up to this magical experience and see what happens.
Okay, so the 2 of you that went over there, and you're just drinking from the river. The next time you get a short rest, you're both going to gain an extra hit die to spend when you recover.
Cool.
You find this little clutch of berries that the will-o-wisps have led you to. And the berries are what give you that extra die. The source of the magic itself, you get a sense of something much broader. It's not a particular thing or person that has caused this to happen. You know, will-o-wisps generally appear as a creature. It's less a spell and more of a creature itself.
Right. I just thought there might be some kind of magic accompanying the creature, but I get what you're saying.
There is vaguely, but it's in terms of creation. Something created the will-o-wisps, and when you try to sense an origin of these wisps, where they came from, why are they leading you to this thing that feels like a boon? It's a much broader, sweeping emotion that you get. And you smell wet dirt and freshly cut grass and seeds. And somehow you smell the seeds going into the earth, burrowing in, rooting. You smell the seeds sprouting into a plant. You smell this process, and you don't know how. And honestly, if someone was to ask you to describe it, you wouldn't be able to. How do you describe to someone the smell of nature?
Right.
It's so broad.
Yeah. Do you think we should tell him about it? Or?
Can you roll a d8 for me?
Sure.
Hey, where'd you guys go?
One.
1.
1.
You find this.
Cool.
Do you want to read it out? You can also keep it secret, but...
No, I'll read it out. Bow of the Wilds. This bow is made from a branch off of one of the oldest trees in the Feywild. When you hit with an attack roll using this magic bow, the target takes an extra 1d6 damage of your choice: acid, cold, fire, lightning, necrotic, psychic, radiant, and thunder.
Dang.
That's cool.
You don't even use.
I don't, but I could learn.
You grabbed it so quick
It
before I
would be
could get my hands
so
on it.
crazy if eventually you had a friend or something that could use them. Almost like it was predestined.
Maybe.
Blessing of the trio.
Blessing. So, as soon as you find this bow, and it's kind of hidden in the middle of this, it's like a tiny little circular room-ish. It's less than the size of this table. The tree grows this way. There's this tiny little space inside where the motes are dancing. And as soon as you pick up this bow that you see in the shadow in the little room, the motes disappear.
I guess you found what they wanted you to find.
Yeah.
Or me. Let's
Why don't we take turns?
Sure, let's find the knight who is probably talking to the brook.
I am talking. I think the same thing. I think, yeah, grandmothers are the best people in the city. Oh, it's just absolutely lovely to meet you.
It might be because you are a paladin of the ancients that you are so attuned to nature that for most people, this sounds like gibberish, what the brook is saying. You can't really quite make it out. For you, yeah, easy.
Yes. No, I don't quite like dancing. Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where did you get that? What is that?
What is that? What are you? You're talking to the babbling brook as if it is not
It's
babbling.
not every day that you get the opportunity to speak with the river. Or, excuse me, a brook. Brook, is that what you... brook, got it?
He's already gone mad.
Well, you know, it's the first time he's been outside of the city.
He's supposed to be standing in front of a wall, and we brought him outside of the wall, and now he's...
It's all right. He's got to learn sometime.
Did you all figure out what you needed?
I feel like...
You wouldn't happen to have any arrows on you, would you?
No. I've got javelins.
Oh, seems like I'm the only one with arrows.
All right, fine. You can borrow it.
Thank you!
It's a really beautiful bow, and it looks like it was created right from someone just snapped a branch off of this tree, but the wood itself is very aromatic, very fragrant, almost like cedar. It's a lighter olivey color, and it's perfectly smooth on the outside.
Wow, such good wood. It smells great.
A most fortunate find.
Yes. What did the brook tell you about?
Nothing of the sort. We discussed. They come from a tributary just north of here, and they are related to the line, but not directly. So it's all quite fascinating.
Yeah, so maybe we should get on the way. You know?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Please lead the way. I must admit, after going over that bout of anxiety, it is absolutely wonderful to speak with someone that truly understands nature. I mean, I've never felt closer to the trio than now. It's wonderful.
Camden, as you're considering...
He's losing his mind a little bit.
As you're considering your place in the greater scheme of things, you take a glance over at that butterfly brooch and you see almost like a ghostly image of an actual butterfly on top of it, but it looks like it's wilting, like it's been sitting in the sun. You have a glimpse of shadow.
Ooh.
From 2O Mask 6603. It fades, but you feel this balance shift just slightly.
We should keep moving.
Sure.
Let us
You'd
do
see
that.
his
Yes.
demeanor change very quickly back to anxious and take position right behind you.
You know, it's his first time outside of the city in the woods, so
yeah.
all these emotions are going to come out of the woodwork, so to speak.
That was absolutely terrible. Take a point of inspiration.
Yes, that was. I see what you did there. That's quite clever.
That's me. Clever boots.
So this trip itself, because you know these woods so well, it's a really simple trip. It's just long. It does take you the full day, but you meander on. These trees are very tall, more like redwoods than anything. And in the Feywild kind of ignores biodomes. There's deciduous, conical, all sorts of trees that grow together. So this is a mix of evergreen and redwood trees. So it's it amounts to a very tall, very dense forest, and it gets even more dense when you go into what people generally call the deep woods. But it's thankfully uneventful. You do feel, as you wander, this wave that you are both beginning to associate with a reaction from Camden. And Camden, as you're looking, again, you see this flash of a happy green light that sort of shimmers. And we have a spark of nature.
Rachel, is there a way that I can try to understand this? What is Camden interpreting this as? Or, and that's not the question I want to ask. Would I have seen anything like this? I mean, this was a gift from a child friend, and now it's reacting in a very mysterious way.
Do you make a religion check for me? And you have advantage from Just Jewels. Thank you, Just
Natural
Jewels.
20.
A
Can't get better
natural
than
20.
that. So, total 22.
Love it. I love natural 20s. So,
Give me the Lord.
the Lord, it's my favorite. You are looking at this little brooch, and you know why she fashioned it as a butterfly, because of Forea.
Sure.
And maybe it's just the very, generic purity of a child's heart. But some seed, some tiny fragment of your trio feels like it's embedded itself in this brooch to follow you. As you're looking at it, you feel watched, but not anxious about it. You feel almost like that kid waiting outside of school, and you are looking around, and you lock eyes with your mom in the car, and she's there to pick you up. It's that feeling where you go, you see it, you recognize it, you have eyes on the back of your head watching over you. And the flashes, you sort of get the sense with a nat 20 that this is the goddesses who are perhaps of all the deities in the Feywild the most in tune with the nature and the balance of this land. You get the sense that perhaps it's their way of communicating that to you, who is almost their envoy as well. Almost their representative.
I will say a small Sylvan prayer, mostly under my breath, and I'll take the brooch from behind the shield and I'm going to place it in a more visible place, kind of just maybe right here. I am no longer jealous that I don't have a gift. I feel like I have been chosen for other things. You wouldn't understand it. Just
What
like
is that ugly thing on your chest?
it was a gift given to me by a child. Their handiwork is better than mine, I would say. I don't have skills in crafts.
Look, I do believe children are the future. But take it from me. But are you saying you're comparing our gifts from Queen Mab to that of a child? Just to be sure.
I am simply saying that I feel in step with you lot now.
We'll see.
Yeah, sure. I saw him talking to the bird and to the brook. And
I can keep up.
Yes, you can.
You do notice, actually, that for a little guy, I'm actually real quick.
I did notice that.
And
My legs are getting tired.
oh, sorry. Yeah, and I don't slow down. Like nothing tires me out at all.
If it was a 6-second sprint, how many feet do you think you could go?
I'd say 40.
Wow, that's quite fast.
Or 80, if I really wanted
If
to
you really
hoof
wanted
it.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you notice that I'm following along, but at a rogue's crouch. So it makes it even more baffling. But you also know why the quads are popping.
The insect quads.
Yeah.
I gotta get insect legs.
Are they like little grasshopper legs?
They look wild, but they're like thick up top.
Sorry, I
for
have to
sure.
change our entire campaign to be James and the Giant Peach right now.
Yeah,
so.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, the
I
rest
like
of your
how
journey.
no one's mentioned your bug legs.
I was going to, but I thought it would be rude.
But you're familiar with the Fae.
Yeah, I know.
You know what
I
fairies
know.
look like.
That's probably not even the strangest thing that I've seen
God,
today.
no.
So
Absolutely not.
Mostly
It's
because
much
I'm
weirder.
still wearing the leathers as if they're pants, so you really only see my bug feet. Yeah. So you almost forget until you look at
why
my.
do you even wear pants? What is the point of that?
What do you mean by that? What do you think I look like, pantless?
I don't know. I don't
think
think I've
that-
ever seen you without your pants on.
Yes, exactly. You are not as familiar with the Fey anatomy as you think. Just because my legs are bugs doesn't mean my whole lower torso is.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
There are things I need to cover with pants.
Do you have wings?
No, I don't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it a long story?
No, I just...
Did you get your wings clipped?
Yeah, no, I just never had them.
Oh.
Yeah. It's really, I will admit, it's an interesting sight when I'm naked. It's like, it's...
Camden is blushing and silent.
This is what we're talking about. Wow.
Yeah, we're walking.
If I were to just, if you're familiar
That's
with, like,
sad. You're a fairy without any wings and you got bug legs? You got the short end of the stick, my friend.
Take it from me. Imagine you have the wooden dolls that, children have.
Right.
Why did you...
And you took the legs off.
Right.
So now you have the arms and the
Right.
body of the
Yeah.
wooden doll, and then the kind of like leg portions that you connect.
Right.
Imagine those are bug legs,
Okay.
and everything else is human.
Yeah, I got that.
In a lull in this conversation, you realize it's like the forest has kind of leaned in just a little bit with that kind of face.
Yeah, but no wings. I was
Like a satyr.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Except like the full lower body is that of like a cow. I am saying just the legs are bugs.
Oh, I see.
Imagine if
No, not a centaur.
No,
A satyr. Satyr is goat.
same difference.
Right.
The whole lower half is goat. And there's like tufts. Like this is like skin and carapace meat. I do have a carapace,
I'm just trying to
buttocks.
wrap my brain around it.
It's like a
Can you show me a little peek? Like just pull up your shirt so I can see right where it meets?
If I may, is this the most important thing that we should be discussing?
No.
It's the most important thing always.
A little chyron rolls across the bottom of the screen and it just says, Fairy Anatomy with Iffy.
And with that he just kind of drops his
I look away.
trousers.
And then I peek, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you see it's like a V of what would be considered human anatomy.
Right, yeah.
And then the legs are just
the
The
legs.
forest leans away, and you can tell this is not your emotion, but you feel it. This warmth in your cheeks, this little bit of a, oh.
That's me. That's how I feel.
That is your actual emotion, but it's also coming from the world.
Yeah.
There's some reaction as it watches.
very very weird. Like this
I gotta ask, does it itch?
the carapace, no, it feels hard. It's very much like it feels like skin, but not. Like if you ever had, like...
Does it flake? Does it like peel off?
Oh yes, it does. Now that's the weird part because
Yeah.
it just flakes from the leg portion.
This
Also-
conversation happens over several hours to the point that you get into very specific detail, like the process of molting and did you come from a cocoon and all sorts of things. And by the time that you reach the Barrel Enclave, it's nightfall.
And so this part in the
Great
middle,
time. Great time.
this part in the middle, no surgery. It just, I was born cut.
The Barrel Enclave is... Take that plot back. The Barrel Enclave is a grove of trees, and about 5 miles back, the woods around the Seeley domain have thinned out a little bit into this rocky plain covered in heather, little purple flowers and thistles and scrub. And right on the edge of this massive lake called the Mirror Lake, there is a grove of trees. And you see telltale firelight coming from it and smoke rising, and you get the smells of orange and cinnamon and mead and spices coming from it. And you see several people milling about what looks like a nomadic encampment.
Are these the Druids?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I would love some meat.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a drink after all that huffing.
Yes, I know. I did it partially without pants too.
I'll be honest with you though. Yeah, well, you moved quicker that way without wearing those pants.
Well, that's my secret.
So, I'll be honest with you too. Not everybody likes red caps, so I don't know how they're gonna react. They might be nice, they might not be nice. Just letting you know.
Well, Boots, we've been friends a long time.
Yeah, I know.
A long time.
Yeah.
Long enough.
Sure.
So if we meet someone
Yeah.
to say something unkind
Yeah.
to you, simply because you're a red cap,
Right.
it'd be the last thing they'd say.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I do. I just don't, I want to make sure that we get off on the right foot. So I thought maybe you could go and do some of the introductions.
Oh, yes, let the tall one go in and do his elf thing. And
I would be honored to, on behalf of Queen Mab and us, of course.
Yes, of course.
I will cross the bridge towards the trees.
You head over, and they've already noticed you.
Good evening.
There's a short grung, bright emerald green in color, these massive brown-black eyes. And he comes and stands in front of you. He's wearing a very simple tunic, and he's got a little staff. He says,
Hello.
We are coming from the Seeley Court, specifically on behest of Queen Mab.
Oh, Mab sent you.
Indeed. She gives her greetings and wishes to know that all is well with the Beryl Enclave.
Oh. Well, it's very nice of her to send somebody, but... Well...
Are you by any chance Dink?
Ding! With a G.
Ah, yes.
D-I-N-G.
My cues look like G's sometimes.
Mine too. That is a lie. I'm illiterate.
I'm Sir Camden of the Green Path, representative of Queen Mab. This is my associate, Sir Boots, and Sir Allyrick.
Recognize a little bit of fear in Ding's face.
By no means we mean no harm. We're simply trying to find out why we haven't heard from you. Our insight says that you haven't exactly reported back to Queen Mab.
Oh, you're not wrong. We've been keeping our secrets. I suppose it's time. Would you please come with me, all of you? You're welcome to come with.
See? You're welcome.
Great.
Let's go outside the enclave, though. Follow me, please.
And he begins to toddle his way out of this grove of trees and around it, and you definitely notice people are keeping an eye on you, but they're not being disrespectful. It's mostly that people know the Redcaps here in the Enclave specifically because of your job.
Right.
So the concern you feel is mostly, is he here to do a job?
Right.
Before I follow, can I see or can I tell if it is a distraction to get us to leave the Enclave?
You can make an insight check on Ding.
9.
You're not sure.
Okay.
How many druids are there? How many are just standing around?
That's a great question. You know from your previous dealings with the Enclave, you haven't been here directly, but you have dealt with the Enclave before. And you've actually helped them. You yourself have gone to aid them in certain things on behalf of Mab. You know the Enclave used to be much larger than this. It's like 20 people now, down from maybe 70.
Wow.
Something has happened to thin them out real fast.
Would I know this as well?
Yes. Yeah, you would. As members of her court, you would know vaguely that the Enclave is a large group of people. This is not a large group of people.
It's a small circle of druids.
Yes.
Is it usually larger than this?
Yeah, I mean, it's normally like 3 or 4 times this amount.
If you come with me, I will explain everything.
Of course.
Please do. I would
Sure.
love to hear what is happening here.
This way.
And Ding leads you off, and he casts this spell that puts a little ball of light at the tip of his staff, and he leads you down to the edge of the Mirror Lake and off along the coastline of it. There's a tiny little hut removed from the rest of the Enclave. And there's nothing nearby. As you get closer, you look down at the ground because you notice this crunching underneath your feet. And the grass here looks dry and dead.
So close to the shore.
Ding just nods. And when you get up to the hut itself, Ding knocks and then has to hop up to grab the door handle, but he pulls it open. And inside you see several cots laid out all along the walls of this really small hut. And Brona, the satyr, who has taken one of the 2 leadership roles in the Enclave, sits there. And you can tell that she is at least similar in stature, hierarchy to Ding, because she has the same staff. She is crouched next to a particular cot with an older gentleman laying down on it, and you would recognize this gentleman. His name is Sidon. Sidon is a very particular looking elf. You're not quite sure what it is about his features that looks strange, but he does. He looks different from a regular elf. It's not the ears, it's not the face, there's just a...
Is this something I can just kind of like investigate?
You can roll and investigate if you'd like.
Yeah. 14.
Sidon looks the way that you had seen him last. This weird aura about him is just kind of who he is. And with your keen insight, you think he's an elf, but there's something else about him. But as you're looking at him, you notice he's not unconscious, and there's this oily sheen over his tan skin, and his long hair is white, and it looks like it hasn't been washed in weeks.
Is there more bodies besides his that are in this room?
Yeah, they're all breathing.
But they all are doing the same thing?
They all have this oily sheen to their skin.
And the Bronha, the satyr,
Mm-hmm. She's a satyr.
is taking care of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
From what you can tell, yeah.
What can you tell us about this sheen that they have?
Brona stands up and she has this apron that's got some various medical tools shoved into a pocket. And she puts her hands on her hips and she says, I can't tell you much. I don't know. Brona. Allyrick. Brona.
Bosog.
Bosog.
Barboza. You can call me Boots.
Boots. That would be good for my memory. I'm afraid my brain is a little scrambled with everything happening. Brona.
I'm Sir Camden.
Sir Camden. You are...
Queen Mab sent us.
I had a feeling.
What's going on here? Are they sick?
Yes, what can you tell us?
Perhaps at your own time.
Yes.
No need to rush.
Well, I mean, we only have the time that we have. These people have all been falling sick. I'm sure you noticed we are not as numerous as we used to be. I'm sorry, I don't really know what to tell you.
Are you in charge here? Or is there somebody above you?
Well, it's me and Ding. And Ding is standing next to you, and he's even just a little bit shorter than you, and he looks up at you and goes,
Can you
yes.
when did this start happening?
This sickness happened to us several
Enclave.
months ago. The Enclave specifically. We've seen this outside. As you have been sent by Mab, and we are in dire need, I have some things that we should talk of, perhaps not in here. just step outside with me, please? I don't know
Yeah,
if they
sure.
can hear, but
Yeah, just lots of relocating. But yes, let's.
just outside
yes.
the door, thank you.
Okay, let's.
It's no problem.
Thank you. She steps outside and closes the door and breathes deep in the fresh air, and she's looking out at the lake and she says, about a month or so back, the first of our druids fell sick. But we've seen this before. We have, and you know vaguely about this, the druids of this particular enclave have a very select few that have an ability, basically to scry. They are seen as prophets, and they are not liked in the Seeley Court because they are seen as meddling in powers beyond their capabilities.
Witches. I'm kidding.
Witches. So they've sort of been banished. Anyone with this ability to see the larger happenings in the world has been banished from the Seeley Court, and a lot of them end up in the Enclave because the Enclave gives them shelter. One of our few who have this gift saw a creature, an animal, a simple deer, in the woods who had this illness. Some of my druids went to go find this deer to see if we could help it, maybe cure it of whatever sickness it had. We were unable to, and that is uncommon for us. I believe from that deer, whatever this is spread to us. We don't know what it is. None of us have been able to cure it. We've done everything. Restorations, cure wounds, every spell we could possibly have access to, we have used. And we try not to ask much of the Seeley Court. We try not to lean too heavily on their generosity. So we have been reluctant to share this. But I think the time has come.
If a sickness is beyond the healing capabilities of even the Beryl Enclave, it should have been alerted to the Queen sooner than
Yes,
now.
we realize. We are very isolationist. We try to solve our own problems so that we are beholden to no one.
Yes, but have you considered that if this goes outside of your enclave, that this will no longer be an isolated...
We have considered, which is why we asked Mab to send her best people.
Lorquette did not inform us that we were asked for, simply told to go.
Well, he doesn't know everything.
Yeah.
He sure seems like he does. Have you seen how many scrolls that man can read?
Yeah.
He loves his scrolls, but no.
Look, we're not healers.
I know.
Not all of us. I am blessed with the ability to cure. Are you affected by the sickness?
Not yet.
Were there people inside of those cots?
All of them were full.
If it's all right with you two, I could attempt to aid those sick.
Yes. That's
Sure. We've tried everything at our disposal. Perhaps.
I'll take off my shield, rest it against the edge of the house, and go into the hut.
She points to Sidon, and she
Trying to be
says,
respectful, and they're like shitty.
she points to Sidon, and she says, if it works, could you try him first?
Of course. I will not make too much pomp and circumstance about it. I will close my eyes, take a deep breath, say a Sylvan prayer to the trio of ancients, and cast or use lay on hands for 5 points to try to remove a disease or neutralize a poison affecting a creature.
You do so, and you immediately feel rebuffed, to the point that some energy is forced back onto you. You feel nauseous immediately from like 0 to 60. Your stomach is roiling, and you get this awful taste in the back of your mouth that you've never experienced before. It's like sewage.
By Valkyria, something is wrong. I cannot help this person. I won't say that I think I might have just gotten infected. I'll keep that to myself.
Would you make me a quick medicine check?
Yes. 10. Zombie problem. Did I just get bit?
With a 10,
Is the taste fading? Please?
it eventually does, but it takes a minute. It lingers.
Yeah, I'll keep it to myself, but I'm going through it. I'm freaking out.
Yeah. You still feel nauseous, though.
Yeah. How good were you at keeping that from us?
Brona,
We should go back outside.
Brona's just wringing her hands, waiting.
We should leave this place.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
If I could have just a bit of a moment with my compatriots.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's a great.
Where was this deer? In case we need to go look things over.
It's on the other side of the lake.
And
So just over there.
Yeah.
what was the? Is this affecting only the scryers, or like what do the scryers have to?
Are you asking Brona that?
I'm asking just for recap because I remember you brought up the.
You don't know if it's just affecting the scryers.
Now I will.
Mm-hmm.
Brona,
Yes.
is this affecting the scryers, or is it affecting all druids?
It seems
Equally.
to be indiscriminate, but most of the people in here are our prophets.
So, final question:
Yes.
do you personally feel like this may be the consequences of trying to change the ways of our world?
Do I think it is a punishment? No. I think that the prophets are given their ability for a reason, and I don't think that something this heavy of a burden would be placed on the shoulders of people who would not be able to handle it.
I just believe that everyone has a place. And everything happens within and for reasons, and well, I will investigate this.
Do you have any more information for us besides, sick deer and a bunch of dead druids?
Brunda, if you are hiding anything, now is the time to share it.
I'm certainly not hiding anything. And if you'd like, you can all make an insight check on it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Oh. Yeah, that's a dirty 20 for my insight.
Ooh, I love it.
12.
Yeah, she's not lying to you. She's being as forward as she can be, and she continues to wring her hands very hard, and she says, I believe everything has its place in nature as well, but I also do not think nature abandons its own so easily. We don't know much. I'm sorry. I would love to offer you more information. Believe me, I would love to have our people cleared. This is not a disease. This is not a curse.
Has anyone died from this?
Yes. You see, there's only like 10 people in this hut, and
Can we see
about
the
20 there.
Can we see the bodies of the deceased?
Alryck. Perhaps.
No, I understand why. Yes, I can take you to one. We try to...
I'm not certain that we should go near the bodies. What I felt after trying to heal that person was...
What did you feel?
I wished to speak with you privately. I felt a repellent. Something that kept me out that shouldn't. Nothing should keep out the blessing of the gods, and yet I could not get through.
The same thing has happened to our healers. I hoped that it would not affect anyone else, but our healers have not fallen sick. I do not think it is transferred that way.
There may be answers in the bodies if it is feeding off of their souls, their bodies, then they would stop feeding after they unfortunately pass away.
We try to burn the bodies.
Try.
What he said.
Have you ever tried to burn oil? Do you know what that's like? It's not easy. We manage with most of them. I can take you. You must be respectful with this body. And I'm not just saying that as one of the leaders of these people, but this is Sidon's daughter. I grew up with her. She means a lot.
Upon my oath to the ancients, we shall be respectful of these bodies.
Yes, I'm only trying to investigate. I'm not trying to
meddle.
Yes. I think there's been enough of that.
All right.
Be quick, Brenda. We might not have as much time as I'd like.
My name is Brona.
Excuse me. My handwriting is abysmal.
I just don't think you remember people's names very well.
Well, yes, my
Because you
I can
stand
guard
there.
really well, so
You stand there and you greet people.
Follow me. She takes you right outside and to the side of this hut where there's this thick linen that's been laid out on the ground, and she lifts it up and you see a body. It looks like it's in the middle of decay, but it's mummified. Nature is not touching this thing. There's no maggots, there's no beetles, there's no scavengers that would normally come in, and this is an affront to you.
Yeah.
Because this is something stopping the natural decay of nature. So Valkeia is like, immediately in the back of your mind is like, this is
So it almost looks like an embalmed body?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is covered in this sheen, this oily, almost shiny sheen that sort of drips off the body.
So upon seeing this, Allyrick kind of rests his hand on Bosog's shoulder. You check for magic, and I'll check for not magic.
Sure.
And I'll roll investigation.
Sure. Can you roll investigation? You can roll an arcana if you'd like.
Sure.
And then would you roll a medicine check for me?
of course. Am I
Do
still
I have
nauseous?
any? Do I have any?
Hate being nauseous.
You do not.
Okay,
you
that's
do
fine.
not.
It's all right. It could have been so much better.
Boots, you have from Beaker Par an advantage.
Sweet. Thank you, Beaker Park.
Thank you, Beaker Par.
Beaker Bar.
Beaker Par.
No.
Okay, so 14 on my investigation.
5 on Arcana.
17 medicine.
Okay. As you're looking at this body, this is unlike anything you've ever seen before, truly. But you can also understand this is, if you tried to set fire to this body, it'd be like a kitchen fire.
Yes.
Oof.
Going to apologize. Do not put fire anywhere near this body.
With your 4,
5.
you're 5. I'm sorry, you're 5.
Well, in that case.
You're not sure if this is magical?
I'll use my magic awareness ability. I can do it 3 times per long rest. Can't believe I'm using
Yeah,
it.
the most handy thing.
I know. It both is and it isn't. Which is such a bizarre, discordant feeling inside of you, because there's something about this that feels natural and something about this that feels like it's disgusting, that it's against nature itself and it shouldn't be here.
Is it possible that it's something that is naturally occurring but has been magically tampered with or enhanced?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the vaguest sense. But yes.
Yeah. So like if this was some kind of natural occurring disease, but somebody came in and infused it with...
You don't get the sense of a, like, curse or a disease. This is unknown.
Ah, okay. Alien? Like outside of this world? Or realm?
Yes.
Ah. Okay.
With your 17, this is Sidon's daughter. She's an elven woman. Very gaunt in the face now, looking sort of on the verge of being mummified. And there's something different about this elf. And suddenly it clicks. You have only heard of these beings. You've never seen one because they are almost extinct. They're called swan mays. Swan mays are people who are able to transform their shape into a swan.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This is a swan mace elf.
Brona stiffens. She says, yes, she was.
There are not many like this kind. They can change their form to that of a swan.
Only a swan?
Yes.
It's
That's
a
why they're
very
called swan
specific
mays.
blessing, I suppose.
Brona.
Yes.
I noticed a change in you when the swan maze was mentioned, so...
Would you expect me to have any other countenance when I'm looking at the dead body of my lover?
My apologies.
This is why I begged respect for this body in particular. It is hard for me, but I needed to be the one to show you.
Okay, she did not mention that it was
Yeah, no, she didn't say that at all. That was new information for sure.
Right.
Do you mind if I cover her up again?
Yes. So sorry.
She kneels next to the body.
Care for a prayer before we do so?
Yes, thank you. I'm not particularly religious, but I would appreciate the thought regardless. And she kisses 2 fingers and puts it on the forehead that's covered in linen.
I'll say, Velkea, with all your mighty powers, please return the natural order to this body and lay her to rest. And may she decompose and become grown again, just like the vines and the flowers of this realm.
You get just a very, very faint tinge of sadness. And it passes. You know this is the feeling of the Feywild. Emotions from somewhere else that drift in the wind. And the sadness finds you.
I'm gonna go to the Mirror Lake edge. It's only a couple feet away, and I'm gonna take off the helmet and I'm gonna hurl, because I feel disgusting.
I don't know what we're gonna do about that guy.
I don't know what we're going to do about this.
Yeah, this is not what I was expecting.
you
It's
know,
not really my realm of expertise.
Keeping
My
things
apologies.
alive isn't what you called me
No.
for. It's quite the opposite.
I'm curious, are all the druids that are in there, are they all shapeshifters? Can they all turn into things? No.
Swan maze.
Right.
No, Sidon and his daughter are the only ones were the only ones in our enclave.
Is there any other connection between the people that are getting sick and the people that aren't?
None that we can find.
Be here with your grief.
Thank you.
Have you been able to get a sample of the residue?
Yes. Here, let me. And she opens one of her pockets on the apron. She pulls out 5 little glass vials and she hands them over. She says, "We asked Mab to bring those in her court that not only does she trust with something that would be perhaps this large and dangerous in scale, but those who could be subtle about it, and those who understand life and those who understand death."
In characters, Scott.
Yes. That's good.
Would you bring this to Mab and see if she has any insight or advice? Our prophets see nothing.
Of course.
It's already on my person, hidden away. And like magic, a sleight of hand, it's already hidden.
So
So we're not here to figure this out, we're just here to bring this back.
We had hoped that
Yes.
perhaps one of you would have some knowledge of this, knowing the nature of death as I assume you do. I had hoped that you would have seen this unnatural kind of death before, but
I will tell
getting the
you,
sense you haven't.
my family is a family of alchemists that at one point had to make poisons. and I have not seen anything like this.
Sir Bosog, you mentioned that you wanted to see the deer. Did you still want to do that?
Are you talking to me?
That is your name, is it not?
Bosog.
I'm underlining as much as I can, and I'm not hitting it right.
Yeah, I'd like to see this deer, and if you can point us in the right direction, that would be helpful. We could at least go and look out that area before we head back.
Sure.
Yes, I can run some tests on the deer that I wouldn't
If
want
it's
to
even
do
still there.
on.
Right.
We did not touch it.
Well, if it suffers the same afflictions as this woman, perhaps it will be mummified.
Right. Maybe we can track to see where it's been, you know.
Our mission was to report back to Queen Mab. I don't
Yeah,
want
I
to go
know. I
wandering
just
further
figure if
into
it's
the-
on the other side of the lake, we can go
It
take a
isn't
look.
terribly far.
Yes.
I can bring you there quickly.
I think it could be best if we travel on our own.
I can point you in the direction. It's very easy to find. You'll know it when you see it. I guarantee you.
That sounds good.
Sure.
Let us.
What time of day is it?
Yes.
It's night.
Ah. I mean, we've been traveling all day long. Shall we take a rest and then go
Yeah.
in the morning? Or you want to go now?
I have no sense of urgency. I defer to your expertise in this situation.
Yes, and you're doing the whole puke thing, so it might be nice to take a quick
My
rest.
apologies for that moment of weakness.
Do not apologize for puking. It's fine. It's natural.
It feels odd ever since I touched that body.
Yeah, maybe we don't have a lot of time then.
First thing in the morning, we check the body.
Yeah,
We check the deer.
yeah,
We go back.
sure.
That's the plan.
You mind if we poke around for a little bit?
No. Please come with me. We can put you up for the night as well. We have a guest tent.
Great.
Yes.
All right. Back to the Enclave. She leads you back, and Ding follows. You notice he's extinguished whatever light had been inside the hut for the night, it seems. And that's actually where we're going to take our intermission
Yay!
on that cliffhanger. So we will be back in about 15 minutes. I will say, before we head out, you poke around, you don't find much. It's a very simple enclave. They have exactly what they need, and that's it. You find some good food, and they offer it freely. That's it. However, as you are all laying down on your cots of goose feather that they've provided to you inside this tent, you all feel and you see on your brooch that ghostly butterfly that wilts almost as if in heat. You all feel the cosmic shift as we have a spark of shadow from Sitar of the Winter Court. Very, very aptly named. Sitar. All right, and with that, we are going to take our intermission. We will see you in 15 minutes.
As always, the Dungeon Run is thrilled to be partnering with amazing companies as our sponsors. Companies like Die Hard Dice. If you go to dieharddice.com right now, you can find the most beautiful dice, dice trays, and other D&D accessories created by some of the kindest people in the business. They have these amazing Dire D20s, which are like extra-sized metal D20s that give you a really good clonk when you roll it around your dice tray. They have one called Absolute Midnight that I'm a very big fan of. Check it out. Free shipping on orders $30 or more, and if you use our code DungeonRun at checkout, you get yourself a lovely little discount on us. So do that right now. World Anvil. World Anvil is created by world builders for world builders. Whether it's D&D, Pathfinder, Vampire the Masquerade, or your own system, they have all the tools you'll need to create interactive maps, historical timelines, family trees, everything you could ever possibly imagine for your campaign, your novel, your story is there on World Anvil. Go to worldanvil.com, and if you use the code DungeonRun, you get yourself 40% off a yearly subscription. Thank you, World Anvil. Thank you, Die Hard Dice.
Welcome back to the Broken Circle. We have a new face. It's just me and you.
It's just us.
I've kind of always wanted to do this, where it's just a DM and just a player.
I know, this is very... there's so many empty chairs.
I know. Empty chairs and empty tables.
Also, this table's massive.
It's huge. So far away. Yeah, it's so near.
All right.
So,
Yes.
give us a quick description of what you look like right now.
Oh, right now?
Mm-hmm.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now I look like a smoky violet tiefling who is wearing tight leather black pants, a flowy peasant shirt that's short-sleeved rolled up, and is smoking literally out of their mouths. There's just little wisps of smoke that come out every now and then, and they've got like black hair slicked back, and they're super hot.
Of course. Wonderful.
Yeah.
You have to pull the hood so far over your face to cover this smoke, because it's kind of a dead giveaway. It's what you are known for here.
I mean, I'm kind of okay. Normally it's a good calling card, you know?
Yeah, but right now... And in fact, you hear the heavy stomps of 3 city guards in their Seeley attire, heavy armor, helmet, running by. And you know somehow who they're after. You press yourself up against this wall. There's something very tense in the air tonight in Caer Rock. And it is very dark. There are clouds covering the moon, which is helpful for you because you need to hide. It almost looks like it's about to rain. And you know, not only does the weather go by the bidding of the land itself, but so does time. Time here is so bizarre. Days can be much more than 24 hours, and sometimes they're less. And it just seems like everything aligned for you tonight. But you know, here is not safe.
Right. I'm going to try and make my way to find Lucius. Lucius has always done well by me. I've got a spot, usually lets me hide out in the back of his house, warehouse, you know, his space that he deals out of.
So, you're currently in the, for lack of a better term, the neighborhood that belongs to the Spring Court. You're going to have to hop over to the Winter Court neighborhood.
Yep.
It's very close.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to do so as quietly as I can and stick to the shadows.
You know this city so incredibly well. In one way or another, you've been here for a very long time. You know all the back streets, you know all the hidden paths. Unfortunately, so do a lot of the people here.
Yeah.
Can you make me a stealth check really quick?
Okay. Do I have,
You do have advantage, actually, from
That's great.
the lovely City Racing Girl. Thank you, City Racing Girl, for that advantage.
Yes, which is great because I actually have disadvantage normally, so... Ooh, first dice roll.
Which one is it gonna be?
Okay, it's little blue sparkles of the moonlight and darkness combined. Okay, you gotta have a theme for everything.
Of course.
Okay, it's a 7.
Even with advantage?
Well, I have disadvantage.
That's true,
So
yes,
it
you're
kind
right.
of, it was a straight roll, and it's a 7. The smoke sometimes, like, I feel like what happens is that it gets caught up in the hood, and every now and then there's just a
massive gust that comes out.
Giant
Absolutely.
Plume.
What's your speed?
It's 30.
30? Okay. You hear a shout behind you. And this is basically a city square. A lot of the Spring Court is made of specifically birch. The walls and roofs and arches, it's a very like swoopy architecture style within this court specifically. There's something tailing you.
Oh god. Okay. Can I do like a perception or something just to keep an eye out for what's going on here? Okay. Different die. Nat 20. Nat 20. All right. Thank you. The dice giveth. And
You,
taketh.
as you are moving through these back streets, these alleys, these very skinny allowances between buildings here, you can feel a presence almost at your back. But you know, weirdly enough, the sound of these footsteps. It's normally most people of his race wear very heavy iron boots, but you know, specifically Lucius, in a way to distance himself from the mob, wears clogs. So you hear this clip clop, clip clop, clip clop behind you, and you know the person that has found you, thankfully, is Lucius.
Thank goodness.
So you turn around and you see this older red-capped gentleman who has a vest, a wild, eccentrically patterned blouse that does not match the vest or his very loudly colored pants, wearing these clogs, and a gray hat, is standing behind you, and he goes, "Oh, you best be careful."
What, Lucius? What the heck? Why are you tailing me like this?
I saw the. Have you not seen the poster?
What poster? I was coming to meet you. I mean,
well, it's a good thing I took one. Okay, come with me. Come on.
I'm coming.
Well, here, while we're walking, I can give you this. And he hands you this folded up piece of paper. And when you open it, you see your face drawn pretty faithfully. Very handsome.
Hey, looks good.
They got the chin right.
Not bad.
The light in the eyes.
Oh wait, what is this?
Well, you look down. Yeah, you read down to the bottom where it says wanted.
Oh no.
It's your first wanted poster. I mean, congrats.
Hey, jeez.
But also like,
well, who put this out?
You know who put this out. Come on, get off the streets. And he ducks into an alleyway that he's been leading you through, and he opens a door. And it's just a basic wooden door, basic metal handle, very nondescript. And he holds it open for you, and when you pop inside, you see the back of Lucius's warehouse. And this warehouse is absolutely massive. It's the inside of perhaps 3 buildings all combined. You don't know how Lucius got the permit to have all 3 of these buildings combined into one.
I don't ask questions,
though. You don't. It's overly stocked with items. There are crates and barrels and boxes and satchels over every surface. It's a bit of a maze, and he's not an organized person. In the slightest. So it's just a mishmash of items. You see some staffs poking out of a crate somewhere. You see little bottles of some kind of potion.
Okay, I just sort of, I like hop up on a barrel and just sort of sit back. What the heck is it? Do you know why this is out?
I mean, I guess you did something. I don't know. I'm not asking questions.
I do lots of things. We all do lots of somethings.
Did you do something in particular?
I mean, after everything I've done for her? What is this?
Hey, at least it made you pretty.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't take much to make me look pretty.
Yeah, I know. He shuts and locks the door, and then he locks it at the top. And you also notice he swipes something from his pocket, like a very small piece of paper, and he slides it on the door, and this magical chain lock appears, and then he just tosses the paper aside.
Have I seen him do that before?
Yeah, it's just a ward. Yeah.
God, okay, all right. I really thought this was gonna stick for a while. Okay.
Yeah, what happened? I mean, you don't have to tell me.
I don't know.
Did you stop somebody? You shouldn't have stopped,
I didn't stop nobody. I didn't stop nobody, okay? I've done my job.
Because I wouldn't judge you if you stopped somebody.
I know,
but
I know. You
gotta
people,
tell me.
I mean, how would you judge me,
would
right?
never judge you.
I mean,
come on. Anyways.
No, I don't know. I mean, I work with you all.
Yeah.
How low? What could I've done? Oh God.
Are you trying to be deceptive?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even have stats for him, but I'm gonna see how well he rolls. No. You don't even have to roll deception.
Okay.
This is 7. He just kind of goes, Yeah, okay. I don't know, man. You know, maybe it's, you might have, did you, like, forget the rules of the court? Did you look the wrong way? I know. Listen, I know you, but I'm just trying to go over the questions.
Look at people. I look at lots of people. There's just,
Did you look at somebody the wrong way?
I mean,
because you know how the courts are when they're like, I don't like the way this person looked at me, so they should be banished for 7 years.
No, I know how they work. I try not to really step too much foot inside the courts. I go around the courts, behind.
Yeah, why would you want to be in a court?
No one wants to go in there.
Anyways.
Shoot. I'm gonna have to get out.
Evidently you did something. And you made somebody mad somewhere down the line.
I need to get out of here. Man, what's up with Mab lately? What is
I don't know. Listen, I don't know what crawled up her took us. Something's changed. She's angrier than before. We can all feel it.
Oh yeah, I feel it.
Like,
look
it's
at the
in
streets.
the air. I know. I know, it's getting dark so early. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyways, listen, not my business. I have my theories.
Oh, you got theories?
Oh, I got theories.
What kind of theories? I'm gonna grab like a fruit or something from one of these barrels.
There's like a little thing of apples, and you
talk to me, or I toss one to him.
He eats it whole.
Yeah.
In the way that he does. Now listen. There's been rumors for a very long time, and I'm sure you've heard some of them, that Mab maybe once had a lover.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, I gotta hear.
Scandalous to the max. Anyways,
I didn't know she could love.
I know, but apparently she can.
Interesting.
I mean, she's had 1 or 2 kids before.
Yeah.
That's not unheard of.
Yeah.
But she had this, like, I'm talking like Romeo and Juliet level of something, like she was in love with this person.
You don't say.
The stars in the sky gleamed. From what I've heard, this was like a long time ago.
Okay.
So, I think maybe something happened with them? I don't know. She hasn't been seen with anyone for a very long time. So, like, what do I even know?
Oh, you think like it like just ended or something? You think she's
No, I mean,
trying to get over a bad breakup?
No, I don't think it's something like that. But I think, like, sometimes heartache, it takes a while to get to you. And then all of a sudden, you bottle it up for long enough and then it explodes. And you can't control when or why or where. And unfortunately with Mab, it kind of affects everything around her. I think it's just been building up.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that love stuff. No, that's not.
You've
that's
never been in
not
love?
for me.
No.
Me, I've been loved, classically.
Classic.
But
never been like the one for you?
No, not me. No, no attachments for me.
I wish it could be like that.
Yeah. It's tough. I just, attachments makes everything harder.
Yeah, sure
There's
does.
all this baggage and, every now and then people come knocking, but I just make sure they stay at a distance, which is good now. So, right? I got this wanted poster and all, and no people to go question.
It's a shame because, like, I was just about to go tell you there's something happening in the Winter Court.
Oh?
Here.
What's happening in the Winter Court?
I don't know. All of a sudden, our representative is acting real weird, and there's some rumors going on, and I was gonna tell you to go, cozy up to one of the representatives and maybe get some information about what's happening, but...
Well, I got my ways.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could do that.
Well, here's your information. I mean, I don't really know that much. Something's happening. They all seem kind of scared.
Huh.
And I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No,
I mean, what do they have to be scared of? There's a scuff on their, like, fancy little shoes, their little slippers.
Right. There's fancy boots.
A sequin fell off. Oh my god. The end of the world.
Oh my. Doesn't take much of that lot.
Right.
All right. I'll look into it. Can you do me a favor? You see any of these wanted posters? Could you just take them down?
Yeah.
put
I
out
mean,
a good
what do you think I've been doing? And he pulls his pockets out, and there's just like crumpled bits of paper all over, and like half of them are ripped in half.
Lucius,
What are you taking me for?
Kiss him on the cheek.
He gives you the 2 kisses on each cheek, and he says, "Come on, man, I got you."
I knew I could count on you.
Yeah, always. Hey, listen, before you go, roll me a d8.
Okay.
Before you go, I found a little something.
4.
Found a little
I could stay here all day.
That might.
Cold.
I have to like.
I'm gonna find it.
Did you ever have one of those sticks as a kid that had like an
Yes.
animal face on it and the little? I need one of those.
Did anyone
for
not
these.
have one of those?
I mean, listen,
sticks as
some
a kid?
kids had bad childhoods. I don't know what to tell you. So he goes scrounging in his stuff and he pulls this censure out to you. And what it is it's often used in temples.
Yeah.
This one has a symbol of the trio goddess on it. And you know vaguely about the trio goddesses. They're just goddesses of nature. One appears as a butterfly, one appears as a deer. So it might have been pilfered from one of those temples. It might be stolen goods.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes with 4 different cones of incense.
Yeah. Should I read this?
Sure, if you want.
It's exciting.
Or you can keep it, yeah.
I mean, I think Aurelian's like, what the heck am I gonna do with this?
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, of course.
But Josephine says that this is a dingy bronze censer with a dent in it. Comes with 4 incense cones, 3 red, which illuminate hidden things. 1 purple, which when burned through a long rest, heals the poisoned condition of anyone within 30 feet. Love it.
Love it. It's so
Love
nice.
that. Is it bad that the first thing that my mind went to is, so if I poison someone, it's not that bad because then I could like heal them later or something if someone
honestly,
bothers me?
yeah. If you need to torture someone and use that to cure them, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So he
Yeah.
pulls it out and he grasps it by the chain that it hangs from and he just deposits it in your hand and he's like, I just thought it looked nice.
I mean, it does look nice. Look at
I think
look,
it's got
I'm
a
gonna
little
put it on
something
my hip.
about it. Yeah,
Look at this.
It looks good.
Little-
I might.
little hip.
You might want to
oh.
not show it off too much.
I
may
shoot,
have-
is this valuable?
Oh, yeah, but also it may not have originally been mine.
Oh, you don't say. All right, yeah, no, I'll keep it hidden. I put it under the cloak.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, are you safe here?
Yeah.
All right.
I am untraceable, let me tell you.
You're right. You know what? I came here looking for you. You found me, so I guess you're right. Who am I? I'm going to the Winter Court.
Yeah.
Actually, the representative, is that?
You would know who the representative is. They are a Furbolg. A lot of the Winter Court is Furbolgs and Winter Eladrins. There are, of course, other races there, but those make up the majority. This Winter Furbolg, her name is Flea. Flea Keita. She's very distinct because her family look like sheep.
Oh.
They have this soft white fur.
Sorry. Go on.
That was so cute. They have this soft white fur all over them.
Cute.
Yeah, and they have these little like floppy ears.
Oh.
They're known as a very like kind family, but they're also kind of isolationists.
Okay. Cool. So they're all sad and stuff?
No, they're not sad. They're
scared. Okay.
All of the representatives are like, I don't know, there's something fishy going on. Like they're privy to information that we don't know that makes them nervous.
Yeah, well, I don't like not knowing stuff.
I know.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna get to the bottom.
I like to know stuff too.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks, Lucius. You know, you're a real one.
Of course. I got you. Are you gonna be okay out there? Like,
yeah, I'm gonna be fine.
Do you need like a disguise kit or something?
I got my disguise. You know, I got the blessings of my own connections.
Whoever, whatever out there.
Yeah. Well, you know, we don't. It's personal, right?
Yeah, oh no.
Yeah, it's personal.
I'm not here to push or judge.
But let's say these blessings help me get around pretty easy.
That is so cool.
pretty cool.
You are by far my coolest friend.
I'm the coolest?
Yeah.
You want... all right. Don't tell the
Not
other red caps
even
that.
a question.
I'm gonna
Oh,
be
they
telling
don't
them.
care. They don't need to be cool. They just need to be tough.
That's true.
We don't care about
Y'all are real tough.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'll see you, I'll come back with some information, hopefully.
Okay.
Take care of yourself.
You too.
Yeah.
You
I
be
got
safe
this.
out there.
All right. I'm gonna put the hood back up, and do I know how to open the door? Have I been here enough to like...
He would direct you probably to the front door.
To the front door? Okay, yeah, so I'll
Which
go to
is
the front
just
door.
like, it goes from warehouse into a much smaller room, and there's a ladder going straight up to where you know his living quarters are, which is like the most bare bones thing with random, incredibly expensive artifacts in his room.
Fantastic.
But this little storefront is very small, very unassuming, and it just has like a regular door with a regular lock on it that has a little bell on top.
Yeah, and with my back to Lucius, I put my hand up, to say, I'm like, catch you later.
He waits.
And as I walk out the door, I change forms. And I change into an autumn Eladrin. Got golden skin, warm orange hair cascading in braids, like these piercing, like ocean blue eyes. I'm like, that's its main details. And plus the hood is still up though,
Yes,
but this change happens as I walk through the door.
He notices a very subtle change in the color of your skin as you're walking away, but he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. I can count on Lucius for that.
You know that at this time of the night, people are still up, especially representatives. Representatives are up early and up late. So you know that you could still catch Flea awake.
Yeah. I'll head to the Winter Court then.
In your opinion, would this character know Flea? Or would Flea know this character?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think I would know Flea. Maybe we haven't spent much time. Like, what's the party scene in the Winter Court?
The Winter Court is beholden to what a lot of the courts have to deal with in terms of the societal pressure, which means there's a lot of fetes, a lot of revelry. There are so many. Because that's how they do politics.
Yeah.
It's through the parties.
Then they've definitely seen me around. Okay. I don't know if we know each other very well, but we definitely know each other's names. And
okay. I think you would vaguely know where to find them too.
Okay.
The representatives each have an office. Hers is carved out of this old gray tree. And there's like a circle of buildings, and then you just kind of come through this alleyway into this open space where this tree was growing. It died a long time ago, but they carved it out to be just an office. So it's like a one-room kind of deal. There's an opening carved in the side very intricately, very fine woodwork. Inside, you see through this slotted pane of stained glass depicting a scene of winter, Flea sitting at her desk, and she's got her head in her hands.
Oh no, okay. I'll knock gingerly sort of at the door. Excuse me, madam.
Who's there?
It's I. I'll pull down the hood.
Oh!
Naro, at your most excellent service.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Hello. No, it's lovely to see you. It's been a while.
Oh, yes. Too long since I've been by the Winter Courts and seen your kind face.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Oh, why do I find you here in a more morose state than I'm used to?
She starts to scoop a couple of documents that you notice very quickly have the official gold seal, the wax seal of Mab on them, and she shoves them in a drawer and shuts the drawer, and you can tell she's very distracted.
Yeah.
Normally, when you pay attention to her, she's very into it.
Yeah.
But right now she's just...
You don't seem quite yourself.
I'm so sorry. If I had known you were coming, I would have made myself more presentable. There's just...
no, do not apologize.
You're so kind. There's so much happening. I just, Excuse me a moment.
And she opens her drawer and she pulls out this ancient amber-colored bottle that she puts on the table, and she pulls out a glass, and then she looks at you and she says, would you like to have a drink with me?
I would be honored.
Okay.
She pulls out another glass, pristine crystal, and she shuts it.
I'll go ahead forward and may I?
Oh yes, please.
And I pour the glass for each of us and hand it to her.
She takes the shot very quickly. She just drinks it.
Ah, one of those nights. I'll do the same.
Oh, this brandy is quite something. You know, this is from the half-bow domain itself.
Oh, wow.
The half-bow domain is one you actually know of.
Yeah.
It's in this massive land. It is one of the domains that's north of the river that almost bisects the land. This domain, Half-Bow, is small but cheerful. Its inhabitants are encouraged to play pranks on each other, though malicious intent is discouraged. Many revelers and bards live there, and Half-Bow has its own small but renowned bard school. And you know that the person that created this domain is none other than Squalish.
Oh yeah, I know about Half-Bow. Yes, it's a fine brandy indeed. How'd you get your hands on this?
Oh, it was a gift.
Oh.
There was a friend of mine who went to college there. And she was sorry, I don't do well with brandy. It's so strong.
I'm gonna pour another for her.
She does the same thing. She just doesn't even look at it. She just drinks it like it's water and then starts coughing, and then it bleeds a little bit into a giggle, and she stops herself and she says, "Oh, I should have told you. If you drink too much of this, it will make you laugh uncontrollably."
And at this point, I shot the first one and I'm sipping the next one, but well, that's quite exciting.
It was a very nice gift. This is the first time I've opened
It's
it.
good to see you laughing.
Thank you.
Oh goodness, oh darling, now what is the problem? You know you can speak to me of anything.
She grabs her glass, pours herself another, like, 4 fingers.
Large pour.
And downs it. And then she...
I'm not supposed to be telling you this, but you have to swear you will not share this information.
I would never.
Pinky promise.
Pinky promise.
Okay.
My hands are crossed. My fingers are crossed behind my back.
You just caught her in a state.
Yeah.
And she is willing enough to trust you.
The courts have received word that something is happening in the south that we have feared might be happening for a while, but we just got confirmation.
What have you feared has been happening for a while?
Oh, you know, just a little civil war.
Oh, no, surely not. I mean, that's all just squabbling, right?
No.
Oh.
There is something very wrong in our sister domain, the Unsealy Court, down south. There is something very wrong down there. We don't know. We are not privy to the information, of course.
Right.
But there is tension growing. We don't know why, and we fear it may eventually affect us.
Oh. Well, that doesn't seem right. Why can't they just keep their issues to themselves?
How much do you know about the Unsealy Court?
Well, you know, I haven't spent too much time there. At least, not in a while. I just have so much fun in the courts up here. You know.
Can you make me a history check?
Yeah. Let's see. Do I have?
You do have advantage from City Racing Girl.
Thank you, City Racing Girl.
Thank you, City Racing Girl.
Okay. Wow. Escaped. Ooh. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
What do I know?
The Unsealy Court is a chaotic place. By nature, but also because of something happening in the magical weave that surrounds the entire land here. You know that a lot of the emotions that you experience here as part of being in the Feywild are joy and revelry, a little bit of arrogance every once in a while, generally positive emotions, but negative emotions also exist in balance, and they all tend to go down south.
Yeah.
Because all of these negative emotions weigh heavier. Of course they would travel south.
Right.
So the courts that make up the Unsealy domain are called circles. You don't know too much about them specifically. You know their names. Actually, you know the names of two of the four. One is the Circle of the Fade. And you know, from what you've heard, they're very arrogant and prideful. There was once a battle. You know that they mostly exist underground, and they had tunneled very far north and came up.
Oh, like in the past?
Yes, far in the past, to the point that you aren't entirely sure what species make up the Fade Circle. There's
and they
also
detached the
they had
north.
Yeah. You also know the Circle of Oil. And you know these are boggles and svarts and cranium rats, generally smaller creatures that are looked down upon and seen as weak when they're on their own.
Okay.
But when they combine, they are
right.
much more powerful. And you also know that they have a king.
Each circle or all
No,
the Unsealy?
the entire Unsealy domain has a king.
Yeah.
In the way that you have Queen Mab.
Do I know this king's name? Would I have heard it spoken at some point?
He has nicknames.
Okay.
But it's like no one wants to say his name here. He's been called the King of Madness, the King of Trickery, the King of Chaos.
Okay. Not all things that I shy away from by any means.
Yeah. It's nothing in the Unsealy Court is inherently negative or malicious.
Especially for the Feywild.
Especially for the Feywild.
Okay. So are there actual signs of movement from the Unsealy Court?
Yes. It seems they are fighting each other. Well, you see, it's only a rumor.
Oh, yes. But that's how all these things start, isn't it? I pour her another glass, and I kind of try to sort of mush her to a comfier seat in the office.
Yeah, she goes and sits on this really plush couch, and there's a roaring fire behind it.
Yeah.
Well.
And as opposed to sitting next to her, so excessive, I'm kneeling down in front of her so I can be looking straight up into her eyes.
I love it.
Like a hand on one knee, really just peering straight.
Yeah.
What have you heard?
Would you make me really fast just a generic charisma roll?
Yeah. Could I?
You can add a persuasion.
Do
if you
the
want.
persuasion?
Yeah.
Cool.
I just want to see how much of an effect you have on her.
Yeah. Any advantages?
You have one more advantage from Dresden Dark.
Thank you, Dresden Dark. Let's do it. Nat 20. I'm kidding. There's a nat 20 and a 2, so thank you. Great.
She looks in your eyes and you see deep concern. And Flea has generally been unconcerned with the outside world. It doesn't apply to her. Nothing outside of the city really applies to her. This is kind of the vibe of most of the court. Anything outside of the city is really not their problem.
Yeah.
They're more focused on social niceties and their own hierarchy. This concerns her. This is something that might broach her safe little haven. And she looks at you and she says, I don't know. There's a rumor. One of the representatives from down there has gone missing, and there is a seat of power empty.
Oh.
And it's all very mysterious, very unknown, but our scouts get the sense that this disappearance is striking fear in everyone south.
Of course, unrest, yes.
Even outside of the circles.
Which circle has this missing seat?
We don't know.
Oh.
I don't even know the names of all of them, all of the circles.
Oh, yeah, there's so many.
Yes, I've only met one representative, and that was a long time ago.
And so, I imagine Queen Mab must be quite upset about this all.
We have a fear. They could all band together and try and attack the north.
Why would they attack us?
Because we're here. Because we have land.
What's wrong with their land?
It's never enough.
You're right, yes.
You know this. You know how people get a taste of power, and it's never enough.
Of course.
Must always be more.
They can't all be as generous and compassionate as you, Flea.
You're too kind.
Now tell me, and I take her hand. Flea, how can I help you?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not normally the one that would need help. You can always, you know Lorquette.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you could always talk to him.
Is he here?
He may have gone to bed already, but,
Oh, well, I know where his room is.
Oh.
Oh, well, just...
Oh, no, I understand it.
Yeah, yes, you know.
Yes, yes, he may have some more knowledge of these things.
Wonderful. Flea, you've been incredible company.
Oh, stop. And she blushes.
It would be my honor. Could I escort you back to your quarters, perhaps? Or I just want to make sure you get back all right.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I believe I should leave.
And I'll put a hand out and sort of, or an arm, to escort, like sort of drop her off somewhere, wherever her...
Yeah, she douses the
rooms may
flame
be, yeah.
in the fireplace. She
Yes.
essentially locks up for the night, and she allows you to escort her to her room.
Good night. Thank you again, and my lips are sealed.
Thank you.
And you notice when you walked her to her room, she was stumbling a little bit.
Yeah, I was holding her up.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. And I'll kiss her hand.
And she just shuts the door, too flustered to say anything.
All right. Now, I'm gonna head to where I know Lorquette
Lorquette has...
resides.
He has a very lavish loft apartment in an area much closer to where the actual seat that Queen Mab takes is.
Okay.
So there's this like central building of all of these different trees that combine into this beautiful woven dome, and it always has this kind of glow about it. And that's where her throne is, and that's where she lives. And just outside of that building is where some of her inner circle is, in these beautiful wooden apartments that are sort of built on top of trees.
Right.
And while he's technically part of the summer court, he doesn't really adhere to them. He's kind of outside of the courts, like a lot of her close circle is.
Yeah.
So you know exactly where his apartment is and how to get to it. It's essentially like if you took a brownstone and put it in a tree. That's what it looks like.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll make my way there. Are the streets still as sort of busy with guards moving about?
Every once in a while you see one dashing to a doorway or something, but it seems like they have started in the center of the city and then moved outward.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go to Lorquette's apartment and I'll do a little secret knock that he knows is me.
You hear some shuffling inside.
I strike a pose before.
He pulls open the door, and it's a very tall, skinny man, broad shoulders, narrow hips, one electric blue eye, one sort of Labradorite looking eye, and dyed red hair, and it's sort of flopped to the side. And he puts his hands on the doorway, and he's taller than you, and he looks down at you and he says, "Oh, hello, darling.
Lorquette.
What are you doing here?"
Well, you know, the winds have blown me your way yet again.
Bless those winds.
Unfortunately, it's upon some rather odd rumors I've heard this evening. Might I come in?
Please. He lets you in. His apartment is lavish, but not excessively so. He has very good taste. Everything goes together beautifully while being unique. He shuts the door. The lights are dim. There's just one fireplace that's made of this spiraling stone that has a fire coming from it. And he shows you to a seat, and he sits down on the sofa and drapes himself and crosses a leg, and he looks at you and he says, "Darling, who tattled?"
Well, you know, it doesn't take... People spend time with me, and it's not long before they're telling me their deepest, darkest secrets and desires. You know the way it is.
It was Flea, wasn't it?
Well, the poor thing is a mess right now. You should have seen it.
Darling girl, if she gets any kind of affection from an attractive person, she just folds.
I don't think the brandy helped either.
Oh, so you've had brandy.
Fine Hathbow.
Well, what do these rumors that you have heard amount to?
Well, I'm sure you know what I've heard. What's going on in the south?
Oh, I've heard many things. There is a power vacuum.
Right.
And we don't know where it is.
I imagine Queen Mab must have her panties in a bunch.
Oh, when does she not?
Indeed. Oh, what is she doing about it?
Right now, fussing.
Well, yes, step one.
You know, it's actually quite fortuitous that you're here.
Oh, no. I'm really quite busy of late.
Oh. Well, I was going to send you on this mission, but if you would rather not.
Well, maybe I'll hear some details about it first.
Yes, of course. We must send some people south to figure out exactly what is going on. Beyond the regular scouts. This would be a dangerous mission, but one that could win you so much acclaim in the court.
I do love acclaim. And, it's good timing. I was just thinking it was due time for a vacation.
Oh, this would not be a fun vacation, I'm afraid. Please let me not understate how much danger you would be in if you accepted this. I am quite fond of you, and I do not want to see you cut down.
Well, I certainly don't want to see myself cut down, so don't you worry. I do like a little bit of danger, though. Keeps things exciting.
Yes, it does. I believe in the morning. I am waiting for a group to return from a previous mission, chosen by Mab herself.
Oh gods, who'd she pick?
She picked an assassin? Quite a scary little fellow.
A little mean.
Fairy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know the one.
Allyrick.
Yes.
She sent one of her red caps. The boots.
Boots.
And one of her guard.
Mm.
Sir Camden.
Oh, Sir Camden.
A lovely fellow, but a little stiff. If you know what I mean.
Oh, he's so much fun to
Rile up.
Indeed.
Bit of a teacher's pet, but he seemed a good sort.
Oh, he must be so thrilled and beyond himself to be on this mission. I can only imagine. He has looked so stoic in position at guard, doing his job oh so perfectly well.
I know.
Finally given a chance. Well, good for him.
Well, you know, Mab seems to think that the trio favor him in some way.
Is that so?
Yes. Can you imagine that? Favored by an ancient trio of goddesses.
Interesting.
How nice it must be.
How very nice indeed.
Yes, well, they are to return from the Enclave. There's something happening there as well, and when they get me that information, hopefully they will have resolved it by the time that they return. I will then send them out, as Queen Mab has directly asked. She seems to have a lot of faith in this very mismatched group.
And you would have me join them as a extra set of eyes?
I would have you join them, but also to keep me informed.
Lorquette, it would be my honor to be another set of ears specifically for you.
Oh, I do love you
Anything. And so they'll be back in the morning, you say?
Yes, they should, hopefully. All things considered. Let me know if you would agree to this. Because I have something for you if you do.
Ooh, enticing. All right. Well, do I get a little hint?
Of the thing I have for you?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. And you notice these earrings that Lorquette always wears. They are old. You've always gotten the sense that because he wears them always, they are important to him.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also some sheen
to
them. It looks like an emerald and a sapphire raw, and then a stone shape of a face.
Oh. No. All right, yes, I'm in.
Okay. He takes off the earring, and he passes one to you.
Put it on immediately.
You hear his voice in your head.
Oh, darling. Well, oh yes, this will be a nice little adventure, a nice little change of pace from the courts. You don't have any plans this evening, do you?
No. In fact, I do not. And I would love to spend the time in such rarefied company.
Oh, as it so happens, I also have a free evening, and since we are waiting this group to come morning, I hope you won't mind a little extra company.
No, what a coincidence. Join me in the kitchen and we'll have a little drink.
Wonderful.
He takes you back into the kitchen, and it's this like cherry cordial that you know he made himself, and he is excellent at those.
Perfect.
So on that note, we're gonna end for tonight with Narelle enjoying the company of Lorquette.
I'm sure that's exactly how the first half of this went.
Of course, absolutely. Everybody drinking and having a good time. That's absolutely
exactly the same. Yeah. I can't wait to meet them.
It's gonna be a good time. I'm thrilled. I just wish Lorquette could go with you.
I know, me too.
He's a good time.
Great.
So we are bringing everybody back in.
Get in here.
To thank you for joining us tonight. And we are going to move pretty quickly into our short rest.
No, we first are going to do our little improv.
Yes, we are going to do this improv, and we should all have these lists of
names, and I'm actually going to throw it over to Jared because I've never done this before. Jared, help me.
Hello. I have returned. I am now talking like this for some reason.
Yes, why not?
What happened back there?
For those of you that have watched our show before, you know. But for those of you that may be tuning in for the first time, we love to play this little game at the end of the show where we read off the Patreon team names, the patron names, in a fun, funny, interesting way. So, and the suggestion, it's fun. The suggestion comes from our Patreon, and the first one is for Team Shadow. Team Shadow, the suggestion is from I Think I'm Nuts. Thank you, I Think I'm Nuts. And we're going to be reading off the names in the style of snobby folks at a wine tasting.
Ooh.
Okay, we've all got
You
it.
mean
I
most
like
of
that
my
we
family?
all dragged it like we all.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yes.
So whenever you're ready.
Yes.
Who are we starting with?
Oh. You just read
You
off
just,
the list names.
whatever you
However
want from
yeah.
Team Shadow,
Yeah,
we just go
exactly.
through them all at least at some point.
I'm smelling a bouquet of. Is it kitty scritches? I think I smell some kitty scritches mixed in.
There's some light notes of down to cloud. Down to cloud.
Yes, it does help if you have something to mark this off with.
Oh my god, okay, I don't know, I think I'm nuts because I'm getting a little bit of fail waffle in here.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And you know, that last hint, I thought it was cherry. I think it's actually Lincoln Break.
I think you're making that up. I don't
No,
even
I'm
think that's a real
not.
thing.
No, I went to school for this.
Oh, you went to school
I
for
went to school
wine sipping?
yes,
Okay.
I'm a sommelier.
Yeah,
I'm a
master
sommelier.
sommelier.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes, yes.
you.
Okay, all
You
right.
go through a
This is all
test.
good and
You go
well,
through it.
but I've been to a better winery before, and they have this one specific vintage, and it's called Idaho Judd.
Oh, I didn't
Oh my god, Idaho wines are the best.
Yes, Idaho
Everyone
Judd.
puts their nose up in the air to Idaho wine,
Yes.
but I don't get it.
It's
I don't
so
get
good.
it.
How provincial. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
all right.
See, in this one, you can see, based on the color and the skin contact, that this is only from the vineyard Abracadabra.
I knew it.
Abracadabra,
I so knew
you know,
it.
it's a very
You're
upstart
so
vineyard.
Yes.
Right.
Very a small hectare of grapes that they
Yeah, very small, very,
Oh,
very.
such a good word. Oh my god.
Have you guys ever been to Tuomask?
No.
You mean two of that?
It's part of the character. I don't know how to read.
Although like calling it Tuomask makes it sound so much fancier.
Wait, what is it? Tuomask? Tuomask.
Tuomask.
Yeah.
Vineyard? Is that what you're saying? Tuomask?
Tuomask Vineyard.
Tuomask.
What would you pair with a 1999 Tuomask?
A gateway guide.
A gateway.
Oh my god,
gateway,
of
gateway.
course.
A white game.
Oh, I would also argue, and I know this is like, what's she doing? I would also pair it with an I Think I'm Nuts.
Oh.
A little
see that.
spice, a little jammy,
I can see that.
and spit.
Yeah, that one's a fail waffle for sure.
Oh yeah,
And yay, we did that one. Yay. Oh, that was fun. But there's more. Up for Team Light, this is Sitar's suggestion. Teenagers raiding mom and dad's fridge late at night. Teenagers raiding mom and dad's fridge late at night. Oh, dude, there's nothing in here. What?
No, there actually is. Okay, there's some beaker par right there. If you grab that, there's like 2 slices left. Okay.
Yeah, but behind the purple stuff, there's festive life preserver.
Oh my god, it might be a little bit old.
Yeah.
Check the expiration date.
I'm not eating anything purple.
Oh,
Why? What's wrong with you?
Jim Whitted did. I saw it on TV. Jim Whitted. He does this whole comedy thing.
You and your TikToks.
Guys,
I said TV, not TikTok.
TikTok, TV, whatever. Clearly, I'm
Same thing.
so far off from being a teenager in this current life that I can't even wrap my brain around it.
But if you're loud, you're rating the
Y'all hurry up, we're gonna miss Ghostbusters quick response unit.
We can't miss that.
Oh my God.
Guys, I can barely see anymore. I think I took just a little bit of too much Fenderil tonight.
Oh, I love Fenderil. I'll have the rest.
Okay.
Yeah, hand it over, hand it over.
Wait, before you do that, can you check the expiration date on the Angel Devil Sen? Angel Devil Sen.
What's happening?
Angel Devil Sen.
Yeah, okay.
What's the expiration date on it?
3 months. We're good.
Okay,
We're good.
sweet.
It's a long,
It's been open for 2.5.
long-lasting product.
It's been open for 2.5, so it's perfect.
Yeah, no, I mean it expired 3 months ago.
Oh.
But like,
I'll
that's
still
like
eat it.
past the,
I'm
it's
still
cool.
gonna eat
It's
it.
like I heard it within 4 months. If you haven't like dropped it, it's good.
Okay.
It's like fish. It's
Like fish.
Yeah. What? 4 months is good for fish.
Is
that
that a
and
thing?
also Briba, my favorite brand of bread.
Brava. It's pronounced
Brava.
Brava.
I
I don't know what you've been eating, but clearly you're hallucinating.
Obviously, it's the bad Angel Devil Sen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, guys. Yeah, I gotta go make a dungeon speed run.
You had 2 of them.
You guys.
No!
Yeah,
That's what
guys
you
can-
get for eating the expired food.
Okay, bye, guys.
It's unbearably loquacious.
She does tell us way too much information.
It's true. I didn't need to.
Yay!
That is so much fun. Oh my god.
Wow, you guys jumped right into that. I love that.
That's so enjoyable.
chaos.
Well, that's what happens when you get a bunch of LA people together. Oh, an improv game?
We got you. All right. We did it.
That's our game.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Let's go around.
I was delayed. I was like, I was laughing at you. I was laughing at the game.
I would like to go around and do some plugs. Start with Christoff. Have anything you'd like to plug? Also, give me your social media handle.
Okay.
Handle.
I'm trying to figure out which camera to look at. I don't know. I've been doing just both.
You can find me on social media at Cantrip Candles. I own Cantrip Candles.
Wow. Candles? Oh my god. I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah, come check us out, cantripcandles.com, at Cantrip Candles. If you want to follow me specifically, it's mostly dog pictures, Christoff Visscher.
Oh.
Anything else to plug?
This is great.
Candles.
Great. Best plug.
They're like the best candles.
They are.
They're great.
I'm obsessed. I'm burning a stone moss.
Can we just
chapel right
advertise? And then if you get the big ones, there's like a
There's like a little
D20 in them.
Oh my
and-
god.
Oh god,
I
it's
haven't
so
gotten my
satisfying.
D20 in the stone moss one yet, and I'm so excited.
You'll get
but if
there.
it's every time I've had one, it's been on a 14 or less.
Oh.
Well, we rig it. We specifically say, oh, this one's for Rachel. Let's give her the 14 or less one.
I am so hurt. Disadvantage.
I guess if I was plugging
Giving
one
away.
thing, we do have a Forest of Fae candle. This is a Feywild theme.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You should get that one.
Yeah,
We'll start bringing it into here.
we should do that. Okay, hi, this is the camera. I see it now.
now I see the
Now
red
I see
light.
it. Josephine McAdam. You can find me at. Oh, it just flickered, and now I'm. Why would you do this?
Reality
you
is
can find me
bending.
at JCVIM on all social media platforms, the millions of them that there are now. And you can find me also on the Glass Cannon Network, on Haunted City, and just other places on the internet. And check out my IMDb for some horror movies that I've also been in if you're into that. And here, normally. So thanks, that's it. That's all I got. I'm really bad at these. Okay, cool. Please.
Look away.
Look away.
Hi, Iffy.
Hey, how's it going? Nwadiwe on social meds. You can definitely goth_media. I might have told you the wrong one. It's all good. We got a campaign going. We're playing Duster. Yeah, follow me if you want to know when I'm doing stand up, potentially in your city, and all that good stuff. Josephine's movie, I'm in it. She didn't plug that for some reason.
Oh my god, I told you I'm bad
No,
at
too
this.
late. Too late. Just for some reason, weird.
We won.
Weird.
We won a Gen
plugged
Con.
all. It doesn't matter. It plugged all her movies.
Congratulations.
Plugged all her movies. It's like, go on my IMDb. The one that she's in, don't worry about it. So, Yeah, just I don't know. Take
she's
take with that.
mortified.
Yeah, take with that what you will.
We've never done outros on here before.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I guess the Fae stands for fake.
Ow!
Inspiration.
And a zinger for.
Can't wait for the
Everyone.
whole crew to get together on this one. I'm
We'll do
sure
better
we're gonna
next
have
time.
some
Wow, yeah, I'm gonna
Amazing
write something out
chemistry.
next time.
I'm
Please
Jared
look at this
Kjack. You
website.
can find me here and at KJackVO on Twitter, which is now called X. And who knows
Nope,
what it's
I
gonna be called
absolutely refuse.
6 weeks from now. Or Facebook or Instagram at Jared Kjack. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. But I am very much looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
It's a good group.
it's gonna be a good time, yeah.
I can't wait for you all to be together. It's gonna be. Actually, you guys are gonna do most of the work. I'm gonna sit back and be like, okay, you go here, and then just watch you have fun. You
Just
guys-
talk about fairy anatomy the
Uh-huh.
entire time.
There was a lot more of that than I expected.
Did
but
you
you
guys
know,
talk
I
about
should have
that?
planned better. No.
Not yet.
I mean, listen.
I mean, look, you'll hear about it in short rest.
Listen. Anyways, hi, I'm Rachel Seeley. I've been your DM. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you guys so much. I'm not doing anything.
where can they find you?
I don't know.
Yeah, what's your social media handle?
Yeah.
It's Sunny Seeley. If you want to find me, you can, I guess. On
Go follow
Twitter.
her.
Go follow me.
Plugging things is
Plugging
like
things
Yeah,
is so
it's
hard
hard.
because then the camera gets on me and I'm like, oh, I've forgotten my entire life story and who I am as a person.
we got it.
I'm here now. I do
You
this
live
now.
here now.
I live
Yeah.
here now. I do live here now because this is also the studio that I do other stuff in. I'm not doing anything. I should have a web series out soon that I wrote and I'm starring in. Oh, I'm also doing D&D. Oh, you are so much better at this than I am. Can you plug me?
Yeah,
D&D in a
she's doing
castle.
D&D in a castle.
In November, but it's all sold out, so you can't get tickets.
That's fine. Beyonce
But
still
it's
advertised that she's sold
Yes,
out.
yes. If I show up later, buy a ticket and come hang out with me in a castle. And that's all. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes as well. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Morgan. It's been a wonderful time, and I hope that you join us for the second part of The Broken Ring. I'll see you there.
Rachel, look at the camera and say,
Humankind.
Humankind.
Be both. Wow, we did not prep anyone.
Yeah.
If we and I look at each other like,
So good. Look, I'm following your lead. You know.
do we not know something?
Very smooth. I love it. Good night.
It started. It started. It started. As a simple dungeon run. As a simple dungeon run.